Today I'm in Thousand Oaks. There's a large group here in Ventura County that's worked really hard, pardon me, to ensure that this city would go on record opposing Sb54 as well. So here I am in the main Civic Plaza right now. Okay, I hope I find the City Hall soon. Okay. All right. Here's the courtyard. It's a bunny. Colorful bunny. Huh, interesting. I like that March hair or something. The roots of our lives. Living time capsule. Early ranchers of this historic site. Maybe I'm in the wrong side of the building. No. All right, at least it's a nice area. All right, we're going to Thousand Oaks. Here we are at the Thousand Oaks Civic Plaza. All right. I might have to call somebody to help me find the city council chambers. Now, for those of you who have been following me for the last week or two, people have been telling me how the presentations have been getting kind of pixelated. So I don't have any control over that. I don't know if it's a plot. I don't know if it's people trying to silence me, but I'm going to try to do the best I can, notwithstanding. So, well, let me go up these stairs and see what I can find out. But at any rate, that's what I can tell you there. I got my Jeff Sessions t-shirt today. We're going to go up this way. Let's see what else I can find. Okay, here we go. See if I can find a employee break room. I'm trying to find the City Hall. I'm trying to find City Hall.
Oh, if you go straight down that way.
Okay.
And make a left into those glass doors, and that's the main lobby for City Hall.
Thank you.
Signs put everywhere.
Thank you. All right, here we go, folks. Okay. On my way. There it is. My first time to South Thousand Oaks. Here we are, folks. Hey, Sandy, how are you? Okay.
Oh my gosh, you must be exhausted.
I feel a lot better.
Last night went great, huh?
Oh, it was great. What is it? 4-0 to Tehachapi. It was quite a victory. Yes. I knew. I had a general sense it's a much more patriotic, open city, but it was the extent of how victorious it was. They went to the full extent. Great statements. I like. Go, Jeff.
That's great.
I have a lot of confidence in him. I don't feel cynical. I think he's doing his job well. I think he's just working quietly. And people don't understand his first job is not to arrest Hillary Clinton, although I can't wait for her to be locked up. So the city council chambers is that way?
Yeah, but they're not opening it yet, and usually they do the cards. Oh, that's right. So usually they do the cards at a table right on the entrance. But
Okay.
there's so many people that are doing them right here.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm talking.
Is that?
Yes.
Oh, let me take a look at that really quick.
I have talked to you.
Hello.
Copies of the agenda. Hi.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
I've looked at this. How are you? So, Sandy, I've looked at this 3 or 4 times.
It's on 9C.
Thank you.
And it's going to be just about the legislative, so I don't know if they're going to vote or not. Let me get my glasses.
Oh, the legislative program. Really?
On the SB54. Okay. So
Okay, but I know we're talking about it.
Yes, I already called and confirmed.
Okay, that's great. We should remind them about what Tehachapi has done, other cities have done. Okay,
I already sent them an email last night.
good. Were you in the public record? Because I know they did 2 supplemental already, which is pretty
Twice before.
substantive.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good.
That's it.
Okay, it starts at 6 o'clock.
Oh, I'm sorry. Which one are you speaking about?
Oh,
The legislative platform, SB54?
That's 9C.
9C.
I'm sorry, and which is that?
Show you. It's this one. 9C City of Thousand Oaks legislative program, receive report. That's the SB54.
SB
Senate Bill 54.
54, yeah.
Yeah, 9C. So you'll need to write 9C up here.
90?
9, the number 9, and the letter C. Okay.
All right, and in terms of, I'm not in favor of their passing any more legislation. So
Well,
which way would that be?
you can mark this here.
Something my wife would do.
Okay.
But you don't have to.
Okay. This is for 9C.
9C.
I have completed it. Oh, let me see the card. One more thing I just want to take care of.
Because I'm still not, is the resolution they're looking at for approving greater legislation?
Propose resolution, file lawsuit. That's what we're looking for. That's what I hope they do
Opposing
today.
the,
I want them to oppose SB 54. It's a little unclear. He's got a great point here with 9C. Let me see if I can find it really quick. All it says is receive, report, and approve legislative program. It's a little unclear. What is the program that they're considering? If you have the supplemental, I'd appreciate it.
no, I'm not clear on that either.
Yeah, because you have some cities that really want to avoid any kind of stance on this, and that's not acceptable.
Well, some of them want a tougher stance on it.
You know, what I want is, I want it repealed. I want citizens safe. I want illegals deported. I want our
Well, we're on the
laws.
opposite side of the issue.
Okay.
But that's fine, that's why we're here.
Yes, to have a full discussion about it.
Yeah.
Just to, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll save it for the inside.
Yeah.
It protects criminals. I don't want criminals, illegals roaming around in the
We've got laws
city.
already, that's what.
That's what your stance is on it?
Yep.
Yeah, we do, and they've been interrupted because of this awful SB 54 is protecting them, and stupid Prop 47 and 57 too. So what's happening with 9C?
Yeah, they have a binder inside, like
Okay.
when you go through the chamber.
So when it opens,
there's a
I'll be able to
binder.
look
Yes,
at it.
Yes, sir. Hello. Yeah,
So that doesn't tell us whether we're in favor of the post.
There is no,
Okay,
what
9C.
agenda item are you talking about? 9C? Yeah, there is no vote. It's only up to discussion, so there's
All right.
no, okay?
9C
Excellent.
is the Senate Bill 54. Yeah.
Thank you.
This part right here. Probably here.
So now I talk to somebody who tells me that. Now I've talked to somebody who says that we already have legislation. We have legislation to deal with the illegals, but the problem is that SB 54 is frustrating our law enforcement to work with our federal partners. It protects illegal aliens at great length. This is a serious problem, folks. Flag retirement. There we go. Look, that's the honor of the flag. Yes. Here we are, folks. Night of San Francisco. Whoa, looks like a mess.
Right, so this is going to be
Here, key registration. I know that McCoy's a Republican. And Fox is a Republican.
I thought Al Adam was actually libertarian. I'm not sure. I could be wrong.
Got it. And Joel
don't know.
I'm
I'm
Claudia.
leaning towards conservative with him because he is retired. He's a retired cop or detective or something.
Oh, I hope he comes through for us. So I understand it doesn't make sure they do something. The lawlessness. Oh.
Okay, not for you though, right? No.
Here are the past mayors. Okay. So I don't know who. I think the current mayor is either Rob McCoy or Fox. Oh, there's the infamous Jackie Irwin, who's now the assemblywoman for the region. Sean. Hey, Michael, how are you? This is they're getting everything set in advance like this because they intend there's going to be a lot of people. So agendas are over there, speaker cards are over there. You know, it's not evident what it is, but it's 9C, and it speaks about legislative program. They're not very forthcoming about what they want to do. Okay. And when will the city council chambers open? Okay. 9C. 9C. It is open? Okay. Wow. Okay, here we are, folks. Slightly different setup. Fine, close it then. Wow.
Let them have that row. It's okay, we'll be right up here, hugged up next to you.
Here we are, folks. Thousand Oaks City Council chambers.
Yeah, this one. This row is for piracy. So where can we sit? Because I don't know. We can just from that row where this gentleman's sitting back and all.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is it?
We just have special presentations.
Yeah, receiving awards and recognitions. Sandy, come on up here. I got here and here already. Right over here. This is as close as we can get without stepping into the reserved seating.
Put stuff on seats.
Not here, though. This is reserved too.
What's reserved?
This whole row. I got this one and this one right here. No, come here.
I'm saving for 2 more.
I am 1, 2.
Okay, and then 2 other people.
Okay. Got it. In fact, I have to get my son. So
I'll go.
why don't you wait right here?
Will someone can save the seat?
I'm saving these 2.
Oh, she put my purse there.
And there's right here. Like your phone's going off.
Mike again.
Mike Smith? Oh, okay.
Hey.
So there's the Victoria County Sheriff.
Put stuff there. So that was
1, 2, mine. And you save these as well? Great. Are we all
Gotta
good?
get my keys.
We should see some up here too.
Okay.
Does anybody have any other extra clothes? Here. Right here.
Yes, I'm here. Hold on, I'm trying to find my keys. So not for you though, correct?
Priority seating right now. Forget
This isn't, is it?
these 2.
I can't sit here.
Yeah, come on up. Yeah. And there's 2 more. You can save. Okay. Hey, Amy. All right, Amy. Wow, this is nice. Is this the official city council chambers, or did they move it here because they needed a larger forum? Sandy, is this the normal city council chambers?
Yes.
Oh, okay, got it. It's like they took this. That's good.
I just have to go to my car.
Then come, I'm gonna go back. Good, you found them.
Okay.
54, no sanctuary state.
Really? Okay, so
Protect America.
Me and 2 other people. And my husband is on his own, so me and 2. Okay, I'll be right
Was this okay right here?
Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just in
Okay.
case.
Got it. And they're all saved. I hope that the city council does more than just take a file. So everybody, you should be going to your city council meetings, not just following what I do at mine. Sorry. Very important. Let's make every effort to make California safe again. Okay, Jeff Sessions filed the lawsuit, so happy for him, but we need full-on enforcement here in the state of California. We have sheriffs who are caught between a rock and a hard place. They need clarity. We need to support them, and we need to support them protecting us from foreign national criminals breaking into our country.
Amy, I don't think his wife is asleep because she's going to school.
All right, we've got the city clerk. So letting everybody know, you're going to find, it might get pixelated from time to time, but you just have to be patient. By and large, you're going to find the city council is recorded. City council meeting is recorded. Okay, Andrew Fox is the mayor at this time. Mr. McCoy is the mayor pro tem.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Do you need me to run? Got there. There were like 7 or 8 people already putting the application for her. I'm like, oh. I guess I don't have to. Everyone thought she was. And she was going to be like medium size. I don't know.
We are not a nation of immigrants, we're a nation of citizens and legal residents. That's an issue. This is important for you. Every one of you should be going to your city council meetings. If your cities have not gone on record opposing Sb54 yet, it's important that this is a movement that expands across the state. I can do my part. I can come. So the meeting starts at 6 p.m. It's about 5:15 right now. So we get here early so that we can get good seating. We expect to see a large turnout, and it's important that when we're here, that we're here making a clear and convincing case so that more people know what's happening. It's empty now. It'll fill up soon. That seat right there I know is saved because that's a friend of mine, her scarf. 1, 2 seats are saved as well. Yep. Okay, well, it's not free. You and me pay for it. This is beyond ridiculous. That doesn't protect us. That undermines our sovereignty all the more. It is essential we take a stand against all of it. She's petite. Okay, I'm going to take off now, okay?
I'm going to sit in your seat.
Okay, there we go. Nice and cool now. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you. So they have productions here too. So you have a city council that also doubles. Yes, I had to. Here are the signs. Here we go. Yeah, this is not exactly the most convenient way to get to a city council, but oh well. Here we go, back the way we came. There's the employee break room. Okay, we got more people showing up. Okay, sheriff's beverages only. Reserved for the. There we go. Yeah. Not one more American life, please. Not one more life lost to illegals.
I'll get it. I'll get it later.
This is my seat. Okay. Go ahead and get your signs, because I don't want to step on them.
I wonder if this is. Should we say for Noni and Mike?
Yeah, sure.
So I have for 2 people. Is there 3?
Is that the Okay, that's fine. No sanctuary state.
I'm gonna go up and give Roxanne some signs. Huh?
Please, Thousand Oaks.
Let me think. I'm gonna go give Roxanne some.
No, I do have to stand up because I'm not petite. It's okay. You all right?
Jeans are gonna rip.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Don't want that. Do not want that. All right, so here we are, folks. I don't think a lot of people really understand what's at stake with this law. It's not. This is just, unbelievable. It protects criminals. It protects criminals. It doesn't. It's just unthinkable. California, great again. Yes. Let's start with one city after another, and I've got Jeff Sessions, because this really just distempers everybody when they see Jeff Sessions.
It's
my new profile.
There you go. A friend of mine giving this shirt, so hello. Perfect. Noni Darwish is going to be here too. Anybody knows? Make California great again. Jeff Sessions, round them up.
If you want to move on here, it's going to solve it to get open.
No, I don't shove the camera in people's faces except when they attack me. So please don't smear me. Thank you. That's very offensive. I don't know what they're afraid of.
I'm really concerned about downtown Thousand Oaks.
I think part of the problem, folks, we have a lot of rich liberals. They are able to buy security. They don't worry about what happens to the everyday folks, or they think that it won't affect them. But if they just talk to Don Rosenberg for 5 minutes, they'd understand that illegal immigration is a crime that knows no limits. Every state, every city has become a border state and a border city. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. An illegal alien taking your life is gone. Doesn't matter how much wealth you have. Hey Leslie, thank you from Ohio following us. Are there sanctuary cities in Ohio? I hope that you're taking a stand against those. It's 5:30.
I can do that, but I'm not staying for this. Last night, I said, meeting tomorrow. She's like, what are you going for? I said, what are you going for? And he said, you know, it's just been crazy at our house, right?
Let me turn this off really quick.
We were just at a previous meeting. They came separate. Oh, yeah, we were at a previous meeting together, and he said, I'm going now.
There are those of you who are watching from other parts of the country. You need to find out if you have any cities in your state that are outlaw cities protecting illegals. You need to take a stand. I have some friends of mine in Alabama. Hey. Birmingham, Alabama is a sanctuary jurisdiction. They need to stand up against that perversity. If there are cities in Ohio that are outlaw jurisdictions, you need to take a stand against them too. Good, they're honoring children today. Hey, nice to meet both of you. All right, glad to be here. No sanctuary state. No sanctuary state. No sanctuary state. Yeah! Make California great again. Drain the swamp, vote them out. No more illegals and enablers. No, I will not. Deal with it, ma'am. Hey, she just told me to sit down. Guess what? I won't. Deal with it. Really? Really? Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. This isn't your little room. This is not your city council chambers. This belongs to the people. And not just 1,000 Oaks. Thank you.
Right?
Rich and entitled. That's why. Right.
Are you from TO?
No, I'm from Torrance. That's the other TO. Absolutely. And I'm allowed anywhere.
Council meeting, places you don't live.
Absolutely. If they are going against Sb54, because it's sanctuary state, so it affects everybody.
Is this the Thousand Oaks City Council? Is
Yes.
this the Thousand Oaks City
I'm glad that you know.
Business?
So you're saying I can't be here?
No, I'm not saying you
Okay,
can't.
thank you.
I'm saying why?
Because I'm against Sb54 and I want to help every jurisdiction to opt out.
And you think you should come and interfere with Thousand Oaks business?
How am I interfering? I'm allowed to be here.
You're coming to talk to on behalf of Torrance, Thousand Oaks.
On behalf of Torrance, on behalf of citizenship in general. You think that's funny? Citizenship is a joke to you?
Citizenship is a joke to me? That's your...
Well, you must think so if you're supporting Sb54, which protects criminal illegal aliens. You're okay with that? So you'd be okay with someone who's committed domestic violence, sex trafficking, being released back onto our streets, because that's what's happening.
I don't think that's what Sb54 does.
And MS-13, yeah? How about that? San Diego County had to release 300 violent criminal aliens because of Sb54. Orange County had to release 200 just in the last 6 months. That's why. And you know what? They don't stay in Orange County. They love LA County. Every city that takes a stand against it is one less city where these illegals flee and hide after committing crimes. This isn't even about the DACA. What is it?
All these illegals are not all criminals.
I didn't say... Actually, they all are. If you broke into this country, you committed a felony. Yes.
They cut our grass, they build our home.
You're saying every person who cuts grass is illegal?
No,
that's offensive.
I say some, they do.
So what? They're in the country illegally. We have young men and women, citizens. Don't they deserve the jobs? And this isn't even about them. This is about protecting criminal illegal aliens. We're not talking about people cutting grass. We're talking about people who cut people's throats. You think it's funny that illegals kill American citizens too? Okay, then why do you support Sb54? Because that precisely lets them back into our streets. So what do you think you're defending? What are you defending then? It isn't. What are you defending then? What are you defending then? What do you think Sb54 is? What is it to you? He doesn't know and he won't tell me. I'd like to see him talk to Don Rosenberg and explain to him why it's okay to have illegals running in our streets and endangering our lives.
He's not here to have a conversation with us.
I tried to. I just tried to.
No,
I'm shocked because you won't answer.
You're not here to tell us.
Am I screaming?
Yes.
Am I screaming?
Yes, you are.
Am I screaming?
You are.
They must be triggered liberals. Snowflake.
Oh.
Snowflakes.
Is this the kind of discourse we can expect?
That's all I can expect. You're saying I'm screaming and I'm not.
We're here. Oh,
Why are you defending it
oh
then?
my God, how could they? These triggered liberals, I want to have such a calm conversation.
Okay, you admit that you're triggered. It's okay.
Yeah, you're really annoying to me. Sorry.
Okay, well, why?
Because you're screaming.
Because you're here.
Okay,
You're
I'm
screaming.
lowering my voice for you real quiet.
But like, come on. Like, are you here to have a conversation with me?
I'd
No,
like to. I'm serious. I just gave you reasons why I oppose
Do
this.
you want a serious conversation, or do you want to like?
Okay,
Keep
I have said it 3 times. I'll say it a 4th time. I would like a serious conversation. Why do you support SB54?
Because like I'm here to support a lot of these people who are going to be deported, who are scared of being deported.
Okay.
I don't think deporting criminals solves the problem of crime. I think deporting it exacerbates that problem. I think it exacerbates MS-13. I think it exacerbated a lot of the problems that you seem upset about. So like, no, I'm not. I don't think the solution is to say we're gonna get ICE involved, because I don't think ICE does a very good job. I think they're really bad at their job. I think that's borne out by the evidence. So like again, like look, if you want to have a conversation with me, like a serious conversation, I'm down. But like
We already are.
no,
Because
but
I just
like, I
hasn't
feel
you.
like a lot of times if I'm coming back, you're gonna come up to me, you're gonna say I'm triggered, like, and you're right. I'm upset. This is
It's
a
okay to be
passionate
upset.
issue.
It is.
Like you understand that. So like
I
that's
do.
what I'm saying.
We're having a serious conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're making a
Now
point.
you're talking in like you've taken it down. You're not performing anymore. You see what I'm saying?
Well, the point,
Like, that's what
whether
I'm
it's a
talking
performance or not, I get alarmed when I don't get an answer. You just gave me one. Your claim is that deporting criminal illegals won't solve the problem.
I don't think it solves the problem. I don't think it gets rid of MS-13. I think that's exactly
These are all
what we did,
saved.
and it's
Well,
exactly
these are
what
saved for somebody
created
else, so I don't know. Let me ask Sandy. Is it okay? Because we're saving some. Here's my answer to that. I'm just answering. I'm just letting you know. You had 114 that were rounded up in Ohio. MS-13. These are serious, vile
I agree with
criminals.
you on that.
Okay, SB54 protects them, allows them to stay. This is not about DACA or even the people who cut our grass. I don't think they should be here. I'm not. Look, we need to put Americans. We have Americans who've needed jobs. Black Americans, Hispanic Americans have been driven out of work. Their wages have been cut. But it's not even about them.
My son didn't want to do the job.
Well, that's his problem. There's a lot of people I
There are
know.
provisions
So
in
I'm allowed to
SB54
disagree.
that give them the right to do
Okay,
these kind of
there's a list of serious felonies,
Yeah,
correct?
exactly. So,
Well,
like,
here's the
that's what we're talking
problem.
about.
This is why I'm here in part to inform. Props 47 and 57 reduce those felonies to misdemeanors, which means that those illegals who've committed those serious crimes do not get deported. That's why I
But
mentioned.
again, deporting them isn't going to solve the problem.
Why do you say that?
Because that's exactly what we did before. We deported these criminals to countries that couldn't handle them, right? They created,
Okay.
like, they got better at being criminals and they came back. And that's exactly what
First of all, we need a wall too. We have to make sure they stay
I
out.
thought your guy was going to give us a wall. And then Mexico,
He's already working on it right now.
Is Mexico paying for it?
They certainly are. They're going to be, first you're going to be seizing. You're going to seize the cartels and their money for starters. Ted Cruz suggested that, and actually he could do it by executive orders. That's the first thing. Second thing is, well, we stopped giving them foreign aid. You've changed the subject, and that's fine.
No, I'm sorry.
We have
You're
to.
right. I didn't move away.
We do have to make sure they don't come back, but the fact is, getting rid of those violent criminals ensures more safety in our streets. Would you not agree? Even if they come back 2 months later, that's 2 more months where those
I'm saying
criminals are not committing crimes. Okay, this is new. Go ahead. Why does it exasperate it?
Especially you're rounding up people who aren't criminals too, because then you're giving people, you're just putting people in situations where they don't have any family, they don't have any infrastructure, and like the gangs become that infrastructure.
You bring up a great point. And you know what? Okay, so now bear in mind, you don't have to agree with me, but breaking into this country is a felony. It's in our federal code. So they are criminals just by being here illegally.
Look,
Having said that,
Sure.
okay, SB54 has forced ICE to go into the streets. Before, ICE went to the jails and picked up these thugs. All they picked up were the criminals. Because of SB54, and because ICE cannot work with the local or state police anymore, they have to go into the neighborhoods and round up those individuals you're talking about. Yes, it is true. It's already happened.
Like you really don't.
Yes.
You don't think that.
So if they find grandma's illegal, she gets rounded up along with the MS-13. Yes.
So you think that because
Yeah.
SB54, right? ICE now has to go into the households of people and get.
They're doing it now. Yes, they already
And
did.
you think that's SB54's fight, not ICE's fault?
No,
If
it's
you think that's a
SB54.
problem, shouldn't you be mad at ICE? Not SB54?
No, because ICE would have picked up the jail right there.
ICE's job is to figure it all out. What's the matter with you?
Yeah,
So-
but he was just
ICE
saying
is doing
again.
the law.
Yeah, so you're saying ICE is doing a bad
You
job.
were just saying that ICE is saying, okay, we can't go into jail, so now we have to go into the homes.
They have to.
So can't
To
ICE
pick
just
up.
not do that?
Going to what?
Go into homes and go get.
Okay. Now here's my response to that, which is
Are
a
you
good.
ever sped in your car? Then you're also a criminal.
Okay, so that's a
okay?
good retort. Here's my answer. It's endangering our law enforcement, local, state, and federal. Don't you want our law enforcement to be safe? We have police officers who get shot in the
I think
street.
that law enforcement will be more safe if people feel, if immigrant communities feel comfortable talking to them.
They must
feel
have a lot of
comfortable
gardeners
reporting criminals
and,
and aren't
illegally
terrified of
and
them.
maids.
But they are, because right now The whole point of SB54 was saying,
Everybody's a criminal.
exactly. The whole point is saying, hey, we have these people who are just here trying to make a better life for themselves, and we don't want them to be like, you know what, I'm terrified to report a crime, because any time I have a conversation with law enforcement.
Megan, you're an expert on illegals who want to talk about someone committing a crime. There are TNU visas that protect those victims, so this is a moot point.
Excuse me.
Actually giving you isn't true.
How do you know that? What did I say that wasn't true? What did I say that wasn't true?
Crimes that are committed.
What did I say that wasn't true?
I'll listen to this.
Go ahead and call the police.
There are victims.
Megan, did you hear what she said? I'm oppressive.
Okay, then
We spoke civilly.
I would take that as a compliment.
Thank you for calling me oppressive, but I'm just standing here.
You can't get them.
And you said I lied, sir. I did not. And the fact is, we have a disproportionate number of crimes are committed by illegals. You're going to talk about Robert Martinelli's study tonight. I promise not to step on your talking points.
Yeah, you do.
We want to have different people saying different things. Not true.
No, not true.
No.
You don't think you could beat a wall with a ladder?
No, I sure can. Have you seen the walls? They are very high to sky. Now you're talking about the wall, but back to SB54. Oh, you brought the wall? Okay.
The round on the top, so you can't do that.
And not only that, but it takes an incredible amount of time, extra planning, just that alone. You have walls around your house, right?
No, I have walls in my house.
Exactly. And you have a door, and you lock it. Why? To keep people out. We have a country. So you don't lock your door at night?
No, I do lock my door. Absolutely.
Of course. Of course.
But like again.
Hey, Noni. Noni, right? No. I'm sorry. You look just like her. Good to see you. Yes.
She made her sign.
Let me take a photo. Now, this guy said I lied. He used to tell me what I said that wasn't true, which means that he is
A lot of
lying.
them want to commit crimes.
Okay, fine. But we're never
going
going
to deal.
It's going to be a lot harder
Drug
to.
cartels.
It's going to be a lot harder to do.
Orange County said no. Tehachapi said no yesterday. Tehachapi, unanimous.
Why? Oh, but that's
And I was there. I drove the 2 hours. So
there
did
are
she.
witness visas and there are victim visas.
So
That's
that's
invalid.
nonsense.
It's what are you talking
And the
about?
bottom line is, you look at the stats. The stats on sanctuary jurisdictions. The sanctuary
I know what I'm
jurisdictions.
talking about.
Okay, you're right. Yeah,
No, you did not waste your breath. I appreciate that you talked to me.
I know I shouldn't, and I did suck
No,
into it.
I appreciate it. We did talk civilly, right?
Yeah, but I mean, before, like,
And we don't
before you
agree.
were
It's a free
40,
country.
right? And now you're like less because I called you.
I'm
out
not
on it.
okay.
But
I'm
like,
gonna. Okay, now you don't like it if I tar or smear you or say you're doing something that you're not.
Sure.
It alarms me when I ask a question because you're here seriously supporting it, and it upsets me when you don't answer.
Right? And people are
Why is it
laughing.
goofy? You don't want to make California great again?
It's goofy because it's a tacky trucker hat.
Really? This tacky trucker hat. This is not a trucker hat. It was made in America. You think America is tacky too?
I can't
Wait,
hear
because
you.
it's
There's too much-
trucker. Because it's a trucker hat, it's not tacky. Come
What
on.
difference does it make what kind of a hat
I'm
it
saying
is?
it's goofy.
Why?
I'm not even
I
attacking
didn't-
its validity.
Seriously? I didn't mock you and your shirt and your glasses.
You mocked all of us 5 seconds ago.
How?
Like, you're
What did I say?
triggered, liberal, blah, blah, blah.
No, you said that. You said triggered.
You said that.
No, you said
You
it.
have it taped. Play it back.
This would be a nice TV show. This is what has to happen, though. God bless Donald Trump, opening up the channels of communication again.
That's ridiculous. I would have argued with you when it was Bush, okay? I would have argued with you when it was Obama. Like, you think Trump did this? Come on.
Did what?
Made us argue? Come on. What,
Well,
is this
certainly,
your first time?
you called the hat ridiculous.
No, but is this your first
We
time?
wouldn't even be here. The state of California passed SB54 to defy Trump.
Did you get into politics just in Trump?
I just saw you.
No, before that too. But I'm talking about this discussion
No,
and
but I
being
know,
here.
but like you credited Trump, right?
I credited Trump for making this discussion start to happen. The city council having to take on SB54. SB54 was passed in large part to defy the president. Exactly. So that's what I'm talking about.
You're talking to me. You're talking to me. You want to stick to you and me? She's sitting there like her argument is, but he said this.
Well, who cares about me?
I know.
She can speak for
I'm having
herself.
a conversation with her, and she points
So
to
it's
you.
okay. So you voted for Hillary or Bernie or Jill Stein or?
Again, I think we're done. We can talk after it. Happy to talk to you.
It's a free country.
It's just like right now, like
I know a lot of Bernie supporters. They voted in the primary, but they voted for Trump afterwards because of illegal immigration. Bernie opposed illegal immigration. My God, it hurts working Americans. I care about working class Americans. I hope you do too. The ones who cut our lawns.
but again, I'm trying not to.
It's okay, but don't say that I didn't want to have a civil conversation.
No,
We did.
You didn't before, but you changed. I'm not changing.
Well, that's so uncivil.
This lady called me irrelevant because I said I support Donald Trump.
Why is she irrelevant?
Because I support Donald Trump. No, but you brought it up.
Just say something.
And then when I want to answer, that you know what, you bring these things up, and your typical leftist Marxist boys that say, shut up, I don't want to talk about it. Once you bring the topic up.
You look like you should be on Jerry Springer.
It's just so like.
You watch Jerry Springer? Oh, okay. Now I know what you do with your life. Everybody, just so you know, this gentleman watches Jerry Springer, and that's how he spends his day. So now we understand why he's here. Okay. The best part, when they try to shame you, and then you can throw it right back at him, suddenly he doesn't want to talk anymore. But thank you. All right. But I didn't call your clothes goofy, so that was disrespectful.
I'm sorry.
No, it isn't. Wrong. Shame on you. I didn't shame you. So you're the one who said you wanted to have a civil conversation, then you mock people. That's not. No, you said civil. You said civil. And I want you to say this. You need to say this. This guy was really shaking because he couldn't answer it, and he found himself not able to justify. You guys are protecting criminals. I just want you to know you're protecting criminals being allowed to stay in our country. And that is wrong.
Here, I got my grassroots, my George Soros funded sign.
I know. This is my George Soros funded sign. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry, not George Soros.
Yeah, you keep on stealing my sign.
No, I didn't steal it. I borrowed it.
So you know what? Act of America and Laura Ingraham stole my video
Oh, okay. There you go.
of whatchamajigger, of Genevieve.
Oh, Genevieve.
And they got, and yeah, they took it. And
Okay, no, that's not okay. But hey, it got videos. It got hits, didn't it?
Yeah, I know, but it was
Sorry. Sorry about that. Oh, thank you. I want to go downstairs and take some photos really quick. Hold this. Shoot.
Wait, she's talking to me.
I'm sorry.
What's your name?
Sandy.
Sandy? Yeah. Megan, you said you were asking me a question. You know Genevieve?
Genevieve.
That's his name?
Genevieve.
Peters?
Yeah, we're friends.
Family group.
Yay. Okay, even if you said I was a liar, I gotta walk this way or something. Oh, I'm trapped. Je suis attrapé.
See how many more I have.
I've got extras if you need them.
You do? Okay.
Oh, look at you. All right, excuse me. Yep, I'm a big guy too. I got to do that. Thank you, ma'am. It's okay. You're all okay? Good. I don't want to hit your toes. Yeah. All right. Okay. Wait, I'm gonna come on down. So I'll let you go. Come on up. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. I think all lives matter. All citizens' lives matter. You know, that's the thing that really bothers me. They can complain. It's a free country. If you support Sb54, you support MS-13 coming back into your neighborhoods. I'm just saying. I live in Torrance, California.
Okay, so how can you hear that?
Because I support every effort to stop Sb54. I went to Tehachapi yesterday. I drove 2 hours. I'm that committed to stopping this. Let me explain this, okay? This is why. I have friends of mine, their children were killed by illegal aliens, okay? Sb54 is making it easier for those same criminals to come into our communities and commit domestic violence. I'm not lying to you. Orange County, the sheriff had to release people who had committed domestic violence, sex with a minor, child cruelty. They had to be released back into our streets again. That's not fear-mongering, it's a fact. And every city that takes a stand, I want to be there. Biggest reason, Torrance is still doing nothing. And that bothers me. It's shameful. Okay, excuse me. You don't have to, I can slide by. Okay.
I'd like to stand up for you.
That's fine. No problem. Freedom of speech. We love it.
Yeah. Especially because you're a female. Yeah,
Okay.
Exactly.
Oops. I'm sorry. I'm not sitting or standing or anything, right? Okay. Where's my bag?
I had a heck of a time voting today. No, but listen what I said.
Oh.
I'm telling what I did voting today. I went up and I said, my name is Michael Greer, and they started looking for it. And I said, how do you know I'm Michael Greer? Do I look like a Michael? And they went, well, we trust you. And I said, why?
Whoa!
I said, why? You don't know me. And they said, well, we don't ask for any kind of identification. And she said, that may change, but I hope not. And I said, why would you hope not?
But they can't ask you for ID.
I said, because about 3 million people, we had about 3 million more votes than eligible voters. And she said, that's not true. And I said, oh, yes, it is. I worked for the Election Integrity Project. I went to the registrar's office. We told them we wanted to verify the rolls. They said, oh, that would be wonderful because we don't have the manpower. Isn't that part of their job?
What?
And I said, and she said, oh, really? And I said, yes. And I said, we found lots of dead people, thousands of dead people still registered. And I said, and many of them vote. And she said, really? And I said, oh, yes.
How could they not know this?
And I said, we also found like 30, 40, 50 people registered at single-family homes. We found people registered at gas stations.
30, 40, 50 what?
At empty lots. 40, 50 people registered at a single-family home.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
And they're all mail-in ballots. So, somebody just fills them all out.
Did Craig Huey tell you his children who have left the state still get ballots?
Oh, yeah.
San Pedro, California, 2016 election. Oh, I'm sorry. There was an apartment that had 80 ballots mailed to it.
Yeah, I know.
80.
Didn't Linda talk about that at the Santa Clarita meeting?
Sorry, that wouldn't be Jerry Springer fodder for that guy.
The interesting thing is, in the end, I think I won her over because she kept on.
Yeah, they just don't know. So there's Rob McCoy, and there's Mr. Fox. Let me get my black bag so let me get it out of everybody's. Watch out. The contents will spill if we're not careful. Hey, Rhonda. Go, Rhonda. There she is. Where's Buram? Isn't he supposed to be here too?
Are you going to go to Omar's party tonight?
Maybe.
If we
Get out of here on time. Because I don't know. I hope they're as polite as Tehachapi was and they have the item up front.
you move up the agenda item?
Yeah, they move it up. I hope so. This is my first time. Build that wall. Build that wall.
People were very dismissive.
Oh, I know. But Mr. McCoy isn't exactly my best friend anymore because I put him on blast for not doing anything. You know, you got to hit your team harder when they're not doing their job. And that's what happened. Mr. McCoy ran for assembly and lost.
Where's Noni?
She's supposed to be here. She's supposed to be here.
I actually helped him run the campaign.
Uh-huh.
So
yeah.
The only reason that he lost is because he's there from the beginning to the end. I'm a contractor, and after working 12 hours a day, I go and put up signs, and then I would go walk the precincts. And what happened is that when Oxnard, that was the deciding factor there.
I bet.
And when you had
Man, the acoustics in here
ex-President Bill Clinton went and then put fear among all these people that they're going to lose their benefits, that they're going to lose and instill fear, which that's one of our strongest emotions. That turned the tide. So
we need to use that fear to let them know, and it's a reality that MS-13 and is protected by Sb54 and is killing people.
Yeah, it is.
It is. I mean, this came out earlier this week. It was the San Diego County had to release 300 violent criminals because of Sb54. They get reduced to misdemeanors. That's why I explained to this guy. It's just shocking to me. People think Sb54 is just protecting immigrants, and that's offensive because people who come to this country legally are immigrants. Those who break into this country, illegal aliens, extranjeros ilegales.
Well, here's the thing, is that I'm an Irish and Italian, and really the big thing that really you got to be concerned about is that when you come to this country, you know why? The number one reason why people come to this country? The number one reason. Because they feel safe.
Yes, rule of law.
Okay, but it's not such the rule of law. It's bigger than that. Okay. So what's really bigger than that is the fact is that you have trust in the country, we have trust in our Constitution, we have trust among family members.
I'm just saying that is what the rule of law creates, ensures, and enshrines.
No, it doesn't.
Trust, yes, it does.
No, you know what?
So
you know
I agree
what?
to disagree.
Okay, wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Finish. what ensures safety is people having the right ideology. You can have all the laws you want, but if you don't have the right frame of mind of doing the right thing, you're going to have chaos, and that's what we have in our schools. Why
that is the rule of law. So I disagree with you on that regard, but the point is, I agree. A culture of respect, honesty, Judeo-Christian ethic of respect for the individual, limited government, individual rule, in God we trust, liberty. Europe doesn't believe in liberty; they believe in equality and communism, communitarianism.
They don't believe in it. I have a client that came from Yugoslavia. That her father was under Stalin. So they were all under it, and they know what it is that...
Oh yeah, but Eastern Europe understands really well.
They are kicking out all the migrants. Italy, their populist government has ensured, they've just said to all the migrants, pack your bags. It's about time.
But here's the biggest thing, the problem we have in the state is not the laws. It's the fact is that you have the biggest inequality through the media. That is the biggest inequality we have in this country is the media. Because the media puts things that aren't true, that facilitate, that cause innocent people to die. So that's really what the issues are. Is why are the propaganda of the media. That's one big issue. So
yes, it is. I would agree with you.
I'll talk about it. And anyway, my name is Robert White.
Arthur Shopper. Nice to meet you.
Arthur?
Michael.
What is it? Michael. Okay. Nice to meet you.
Yes. Here we are. Nation of immigrants. That really bothers me. I was born here. We're a nation of citizens. We're a nation of laws. We're a nation of...
People coming from a lot of these countries come from a culture that respects the rule of law. They come from countries that cut corners. Mexico is huge.
It's really what it is as I can tell you.
It's becoming more common, but unfortunately, but it didn't used to be.
That's right.
So there's a decay in our society, and it trickles down from the top. Okay.
I'm Italian and Irish. I lived in Boston. I grew up around your people, so I know it was corrupt here too. It's just, see, the thing is, what you have to realize is that we're going to get corrupt, and then you have to do something about it. You got to clean it up. It's the cycle of life. We're going to have corruption wherever you go. We're fallen people.
There are degrees of corruption.
Yes, there is.
I think Mexico, Central America, and I have Central American friends who absolutely call their own country from which they came in their legal residence, they call their own country shithole countries.
Corrupt.
I have several friends that say that.
Elsa's one of them.
And by the way, I've been through Central America, and I've been to the Middle East, and I've been to a lot of these places, and they don't respect the rule of law, and they sure as heck don't respect women. So, not in the Central America, but Middle East. So.
Okay, but at the same token, though, look, if you want to get to reach to people from both sides, what you have to do is you have to have common grounds. The first thing you got to do is you got to let down your pride and not worry about being right.
You're right.
Being
right.
invited.
You have to do a Dale Carnegie course on them.
Well, you got to invite people in. You got to invite people in.
You're right. You got to welcome. You have to make people understand it's mutually benefits them with public safety, and that they can have a win-win situation, and things are reliable, things are consistent, people follow the rule of law, etc. But following the rule of law is paramount, and that's what this country, one of the countries.
Immigrants in the past learned to speak English, they learned our form of government, and they assimilate.
Yes.
We are now being discouraged. They are now being discouraged from assimilation.
I can't hear anything you're saying.
They're discouraged from assimilating now.
Yeah. In fact, actually, it's encouraged not to assimilate, because from the left's perspective, the more they can have a bunch of disenfranchised tribes, the more they have to fight against conservatism.
And he just got in trouble because they don't say the Pledge of Allegiance. He opens the gate in the morning to let the kids in, and so he says the Pledge of Allegiance as they're coming in.
You're talking about Keith.
Yeah. And he got in trouble for doing that.
Yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous.
I'll leave you guys with this. The biggest problem we have in this country is the breakup of family.
Yes, I would agree with that too.
I have 5 kids. And you know what? If someone wants to try to break down my family, they gotta go through me. They gotta go through my wife. They gotta go through my mother-in-law. They gotta go through their uncles before they get to the kids. So the thing is you gotta keep the family united, and you have to have an open platform with your family. And if you do it, it's not a thing that well, I work my 8 hours, I want to just chill. When you work your 8 hours, then you go home or your 10 hours, and you mentor to your family. That's what you do.
Do you know the party affiliation for all the city council members? Do you know them? Do you know? I know Rob's a Republican. I know Fox is a Republican. Do you know the affiliation for the others?
Al Adam is a Republican.
Okay, so you have 3. What about Joel?
I'm not sure.
And what about Claudia? Okay.
Remember this, Michael?
So 3 Republicans, and they haven't gotten anything done.
Well, but here's the thing. What's your definition of getting something done? What do you mean?
That they oppose SB54, they pass a resolution, they file an amicus brief for their own lawsuit. I would like them to issue a stay of compliance, which means that they will continue to honor federal law.
Hang on. I just want to. Okay, I want him to finish his thought. Okay, so here's the thing: is if you want to get something done, I'm a contractor and I have employees. If I want to get something done, I first execute what I need to have done.
Yes.
Okay. I look at it as a plan, and I go, okay, so how am I going to get it done? How am I going to facilitate it? So from there, I delegate. Okay. So what makes me a good leader is I'm a good delegator.
Okay.
That's what
Sounds
Trump
good.
does.
Yes, and that's what we did. That's what we've done. We've had people writing letters. We've had people visiting their events.
I posted that video from last night of the cost of opposing SB54.
Oh, I saw that. That was brilliant.
Yeah, just tell Michael about that.
Michael, so Tehachapi, the city council member who introduced the resolution, you know, people wanted to downplay it because of the cost. Like an amicus brief would be, what, $30,000? There are, what, 20,000 residents, right? So would that be like $350 from each resident? And he's like, I know everybody would have no problem putting in that little bit. And I'm thinking for a city like Torrance, which has 150,000, that would be what, 20 cents? 30 cents? Here's a buck. I'll pay for 3 people. I think that's a new way to skirt that argument.
Yeah, because if you just take the number of registered voters or taxpayers in the town, and number of taxpayers, and you divide the cost by the number of people, you figure out how little the cost really is. And that was with a small town.
Yes.
Tehachapi.
Yes. 350 is like a drop in the bucket.
Yes, we will.
You know, but saving a life, saving our country, standing for sovereignty.
The man next to you. Hi, Pastor Larry.
I don't know how churches can support this.
I don't know.
Churches support this. It's just crazy. I'm just astonished.
See, here's the thing. The biggest problem is that most people, like you and I, most people in this state, in the country, do not understand the dynamics of this country. Okay, there's 90% of people do not understand the dynamics of this country. They don't know why it's a great country. They don't really know very little because they're working, because they're all these distractions.
They're being taught that this isn't a great country.
Well, they're taught, but here's the thing. When you grow older, your mind matures. Okay, I'm 55 years old. I think different than when I'm 30. And once you have kids, you think different again.
Sure.
Okay, so the thing you got to realize is that if you want to reach people, you got to give them examples. You say, here's the problem, and here's my solution.
We're saving this for Mike.
Then you're not really addressing anything about
Mike Smith.
Who's Mike Smith?
He's a friend of ours. He's from Camarillo. Sandy. So I'm saving this for Mike and for Noni. We're saving for Noni, Darwish, and for Mike Smith. Oh, here we go.
Thank you guys for coming. Thank you.
Okay, that's the way it is then.
You know what? You showed up. That's 95% of people don't. So you're 5%. Congratulations.
Good evening.
like to welcome everyone to the Thousand Oaks City Council meeting for Tuesday, June the 5th, 2018. And I'd like everybody to please stand and join me in recognition of our flag.
Okay, this is the video. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Some people don't put their hands over their hearts.
That's right, I saw that. I did.
And they mouth it. They don't really say it.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, no invocation. It's too bad.
No invocation?
Councilmember Bill Delatagna. Present. Councilmember Price.
I'm here.
Councilmember Adams.
Here.
Councilmember McCoy.
Present.
And Mayor Fox.
I am here. Item 4 is request for continuance of any public hearing or agenda item. Hearing request for continuance. All right, hearing none, we'll move to item 5, the special presentation. Give me a moment to go down to the
This is bigger than Torrance.
I'd like to invite Aline Hagan, President of the Canadian Open Space Foundation, to join me at the podium. Hey, good evening. Each year, the Canadian Open Space Foundation holds Trail Education Days, an outdoor education program for Canadian Valley fourth graders. It's sponsored by the Canadian Open Space Trails Advisory Committee. This unique program includes a nature hike and workshops in Wildwood Park. After the field trips, the students are invited to enter a letter writing contest, which is judged by a group of retired volunteers. 2 students from each participating school receive prizes for their letters, and 5 students receive district-wide grand prize winners. Elaine is here, and she will announce the winners for our Trail Education Day and introduce the students. Elaine?
Thank you, Mayor Fox, and thank you, council members. I greatly appreciate all the support you've given to the Conejo Open Space Foundation for Trails Education Days and the other Costa volunteer programs. Every year we bring this fun event to you. It's kind of nice to have something light and exciting and happy, so I hope you enjoy it. Every year the foundation raises funds to support Costa programs, including Trails Education Days. And this project, this annual project, has been going on since 1992, and so far about 40,000 Conejo Valley Unified students have attended. It includes a 1-hour nature hike, followed by workshops where they learn about native park rangers for years and trail safety and courtesy. Between 80 and 90 volunteers make this possible, contributing well over 1,100 hours of volunteer time every year. And we're always looking for more volunteers, so if anyone is sparked, if that interest is sparked, please visit our website at cosf.org and look for the volunteer menu. You'll find a lot of information about Trails Education Days.
Where's the mayor?
And after the field trips, the students write letters, and the letters have several purposes. First, the volunteers who put in their hearts and souls to the program get thank you letters, and that's really encouraging for them to come back year after year. We learn what the students learned, and also the entire program reinforces fourth grade curriculum. Our volunteer, Melanie Ashton, manages the contest each year and organizes a group of retired teachers, actually, who do the judging. This year we received more than 800 letters, so it was quite a task. Anyway, as Mayor Fox mentioned, 2 winners are chosen from each school and 5 grand prize winners are selected district-wide. We're fortunate to have 3 of the 5 with us tonight, so when I call your names, could you please come down?
Yeah.
Okay, first is Trenton Brooks from Cypress Elementary, and his teacher is Julie Hurd. Kelsey Jo Sullivan from Weathersfield Elementary, and her teacher, Sherry Lake in Eastland also. Garrett Lai of Westlake Hills, and his teacher, Sandra Rowlett, is also.
Okay, folks, I'll be back. So children are being recognized for their efforts, and that's going on in Canadian Valley, so that's what's happening right now. All right, congratulations.
So now we can go back down there? They said that I'm irrelevant because I supported her.
What?
She said, "Are you guys with the church?" I said, "No, we're just pissed off taxpayers." And she goes, "Oh, good. I'm glad you're not with the church." I said,
I'm with the body of Christ.
Good evening. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor Fox and members of the City Council. It's actually my privilege tonight to spend a few minutes to talk about our inaugural Pop-Up Arts and Music Festival, which will feature 8 free events spread over 3 weekends during the month of June. When the Cultural Affairs Department adopted our 5-year strategic plan back in 2016, one of our core goals at that time was to present an annual festival that featured local arts organizations and artists with a sprinkling of some national performers as well.
Probably.
Our primary goal was to provide both residents and visitors with an opportunity to actively participate in, as well as enjoy, arts in unexpected and distinctive locations spread throughout the community. We also wanted to provide an opportunity for
Our item is item 9C.
backgrounds, cultural backgrounds to come together and join.
Megan, I'm going to talk about the church aspect. Ruth. I'm going to talk about Ruth and all that other stuff.
You are?
Yeah, I'll talk about that because I'm so fed up with it.
3 weekends from June 15th to June 30th. As the festival matures and grows in future years, our long-term goal is to eventually host 30 events over 30 days on an annual basis. So as I mentioned, one of our goals is to them how cheap it will be.
Okay, I'll do that.
Shows the locations where the events are taking place. And these locations include small neighborhood parks, historical sites, the California Lutheran University.
Who is the city attorney, Tracy?
And the Oaks Mall. So our first event is actually taking place on Saturday, June 16th at the Los Vientos Community Park. It's going to feature a screening of Disney's hit movie Moana, and before the movie screening, we'll have Polynesian dancers who will be telling stories and getting the crowd involved, as well as food trucks spread throughout. This particular evening is co-sponsored by the Conejo Parks and Recreation District with us. That's followed the next day with a 2 p.m. performance, which will take place at Oak Brook Park. We're calling it Family Story Time. It's actually happening on Father's Day. And we're bringing in 2 professional storytellers who tell original stories with humor and style that will entertain both adults and children. Michael has performed throughout the country and more recently at Disney Concert Hall and the Getty Center. And Antonio is the author of children's books and has appeared on KCTV.
Jeff Davis,
co-sponsored with us by Performances to Throw On, the Thousand Oaks Library, and again, CRPD. Moving on to the next weekend, on June 22nd at 7 p.m., we're going to feature an evening of Americana music, which will be presented on the lawn of the Stagecoach Museum. So the 2 artists that evening are John Zipper and the current band, which plays a blend of rock, folk, and country and blues music, and the Honeysuckle Possums, which play bluegrass and what can best be described as old-time mountain music. So it's a relaxing evening on the lawn at the museum. The day after that, we're doing a visual pop-up, visual arts pop-up event, which will take place in the outdoor area at the Oaks Mall. It starts at 10 in the morning, lasts till 5 o'clock at night. It's going to feature a number of local artists from the Conejo Valley who will be showcasing and selling their works. In addition, I'm very excited to have both Art Trek and the California Museum of Art in Thousand Oaks who will be joining us that day, and they'll have activities for people of all ages to participate and hopefully go home with an original piece of art. On June 24th, this is kind of a doubleheader for us. This is in partnership with California Lutheran University. These events will be taking place in their stadium on campus. And starting at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll be featuring a big band concert with Joe Bray and the late night big band. They'll take you through an afternoon of swing, oldies, Latin, songs from the American Songbook, and ballroom standards with a special guest soloist, Bonnie Bolden. These musicians have played with groups such as the Count Basie Orchestra here, James, Tony Bennett, Natalie Cole, Henry Mancini, and Liza Nelly. So that starts at 1 p.m. On that very same day, starting at 3:30, we have a very special concert that celebrates California Lutheran University's new mariachi program. And that concert will feature a performance by the two-time Grammy Award-winning mariachi divas. As part of the concert, Marissa Ronstadt will perform selections from her cousin, Linda Ronstadt's mariachi album. You'll also have an opportunity throughout the concert to learn more about this new program that CLU has added to the curriculum. Then we move into our final weekend on June 29th at 7 p.m. in North Branch Neighborhood Park. New West Symphony is presenting a show that they have titled Classical Music Reimagined. And will feature music from Gershwin to Chet Baker, and will feature the award-winning trumpeter and singer Isla Serra.
Let's go.
And our very last event, which we refer to as our grand finale concert, is appropriately going to take place here at the Civic Arts Plaza Park in front of City Hall, which in probably not the so distant future will become the center of all festivals and events in Thousand Oaks. And we're bringing in a group called Choir. And the best way to describe what they do is it's an hour of singing, comedy, and community building led by two musicians. And during the course of their performance, you as the audience will be learning a song, and at the end of the evening, you become a choir. So we're hoping we're going to have a choir of 1,000 people.
Jordan Peterson is
on the 30th too.
Speaking
I would encourage you to go on the internet, look them up. Videos of their performances throughout the world have become viral favorites, and it's one of those performances you kind of have to see to have an appreciation for it. In our first year, we really could not have done this without a lot of partnerships in the community. Our two presenting partners are, of course, the City of Thousand Oaks and the Thousand Oaks Alliance for the Arts. And then in the community, we have partners such as New West Symphony, the Parks and Recreation District, California Lutheran, I mentioned SMATO, the California Museum of Art in Thousand Oaks, the Channel Islands Art Studios, the Thousand Oaks Library, Performances Broadway, and Broadway Day presents. I would be remiss, I normally would go through an overview of our new season coming up in the Cavalier Theater. But we will just instead tell you that if you watch your mailboxes, the new season brochure of shows presented by the TO Arts, which we refer to as our Pack Percent series, that should be in your mailboxes if not already within the next few days, giving you a peek at what's coming in the months ahead. I'll just quickly tell you that some of the artists on our schedule this year include Dave Koz and the Summer Horns Tour, the National American Idol Tour featuring their recent winner and their 7 runners-up. Kenny G will be coming in, Lily Tomlin, Five for Fighting, Riding Crawl, for the very first time post-on jukebox. And in December, Brian Wilson will be here with special guests Al Jardine and Glenn Chaplin to do a special holiday concert. In just the last 2 weeks, we've confirmed several additional artists who are not in the brochure. We add new shows all the time, so I would encourage you to
73 retweets for the Redondo Beach one.
So that you're always aware of new shows as they're on the brochure. That completes my presentation. I'm available for questions.
Yeah.
McCombs, any questions? Outstanding lineup, a lot of exciting things. Very exciting. All right, that concludes our special presentations. We'll now move to item 6, it's our public comment. Madam Clerk, would you call public comment?
This is a time and place for public comments. A speaker card is available for those wishing to address the City Council regarding items on the agenda or on the subject within the city's jurisdiction.
There's Mike.
At this time, Mayor, we do not have any public
Mike.
speaker cards.
Mike. I tried, I really did.
All right, so we have no public comments? Is that correct? All right, very good. We're moving to item 7, that's the consent calendar. Any items council want to call special?
I tried, I really did.
All right, hearing none, we have a motion for the consent calendar.
I'll move
This
this
bill.
consent calendar.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, move to approve the consent calendar.
All right, Ms. Littleton moves. Discussion? There's a vote, please.
Okay, everybody's on board.
The motion carries 5-0, and I have 2 ordinance titles to read into the record. Ordinance amending Title 10, Chapter 2, Article 701A of Municipal Code, City Water Division, Ordinance number 1646 NS, and ordinance amending Article 10, Chapter 3, Title 9 of Municipal Code relative to standard specifications for road construction improvements, Ordinance number 1647 NS.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. That moves us to our public hearings. That is item 8A. Madam Clerk, could you call item 8A for public hearings?
Hearing advertised as required by law is open to consider agenda item 8A regarding annual collection of delinquent wastewater service charges, property tax roll. A speaker card is available for those wishing to address the City Council regarding this public hearing. All documents for City Council and the official record should be presented to the City Clerk prior to speaking. And at this time, we do not have any public speakers.
Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. Ms. Otala, you provide the staff report.
Damn, we got a lot of work to
Yes, good
do.
evening, Mayor Fox, council members. The report before you outlines the city's routine practice to ensure payment of delinquent wastewater service charges on active accounts by attaching a special assessment to the property owner's property tax bill. During the year, wastewater account holders are notified about their delinquent balances via billing reminder notices. Annually, letters are sent at the beginning of April notifying them of the city's intent to place a lien on the property if the delinquent amount remains unpaid. Liens are placed on the parcel for amounts that are 120 days past due in April of each year, and subsequent letters are sent to inform the property owner that the city intends to attach the past due amounts to the property tax rolls. To put this into context, when finance started the process in early April of this year, we identified 628 wastewater accounts with delinquent amounts totaling $121,433. During the subsequent weeks, some customers responded to the notices and paid. When liens were placed in late April, 381 liens were placed, totaling $84,280.
Now we need to move it.
Some customers continued to pay, bringing the amount subject to attachment today to 197 accounts, totaling $54,606. This is a very small number of accounts to be attached compared to 38,000 total collections. It's about 0.5%. Today, the delinquent amount is a little less than $55,000, and we anticipate by the time that the final report is due to the county collector's office, the amount that will be attached to the property tax will be closer to $50,000.
Is this yours? No, it says.
Staff recommends that City Council adopt the resolution and approve the list of names, parcel numbers, and amounts that will be submitted to the county tax collector for inclusion on the property tax bills. And that concludes my report. I'm available for questions.
Okay. Questions for Mr. Otala? Mr. Rice.
They need to give us more room. It's ridiculous.
Especially for big guys like you. You have to sign for a minute. And this.
And
this I need to resituate.
Okay.
I'm gonna just check. Have you seen him? I'll text him. Okay.
All right, Mr. Price, moves item 1 and 2. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, prepare to vote, please.
they're going through pretty fast.
Good.
What's going to happen?
The motion carries 5-0.
And that is approved. We'll move to item 9, which is department reports. Item 9A is our downtown core master plan.
Where is mine?
Town of Mulder.
I lost my sign.
Oh no.
Mr. Towns, we have a cast of thousands there. If you'd like to introduce the other folks that may or may not be making comments, that would be good.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, it fell again.
There's no hook.
The design of this place is a lot different.
I'm good. How you doing, Greg? Great, Megan. Hi, Megan. Nice to meet you. Big time.
You must have been so excited.
It was a good evening.
Yeah, I wish that we had that in Torrance.
It was kind of tense. I'll tell you about that later.
Okay. You mean someone tried to drop your ass?
No, but it kind of evolved kind of strange a little bit, so...
Santa Clarita, that was a great day. That was the first city in LA County at the same time, so 2 cities. I'm very disappointed that Torrance isn't on board. They'll probably wait until after the election, which is today. Yay! I hope one of our guys wins.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, and the City Council. It does give me great pleasure to introduce this item tonight. The city has long been interested in creating a vibrant downtown area for Thousand Oaks, one that would attract both residents and
California's primary is
This is a
tonight.
long-standing city goal dating back 20 years.
Tonight.
And so over the last 15 months, approximately, the city has undertaken a concerted effort to create a vision for the downtown area.
What's it like? Have you scoped out the pro-legal side? Is it big here?
Pretty big. Sad.
Residents, from stakeholders.
Here, give me a sign.
City council ad hoc committee, from staff, and also from a diverse
Signed.
team of consultants. Speaking of consultants, the team that was hired to prepare this downtown master plan last August is the team of Ramey and Associates. And with me tonight, to my far left, is Matt Ramey, principal of Ramey and Associates and overseer of this project. To my left is Melissa Johnson-Stark, a planner with Ramey and Associates, and Melissa was in charge of the community outreach for this effort. Also in the audience tonight is Simran Malhotra, who is principal.
It's tough for you big guys seeing these compact iconoclast scenes.
For
class.
this master plan.
Mike's not answering.
First, I would like to describe a little bit about the background for how we came to this point. Last February, the process actually began, and that was through creation of a City Council ad hoc committee composed of Mayor Fox and Councilmember Adam. That was a key first step in this process. Following that in May, you held your annual goal-setting session, and one of your top 10 goals was to, quote-unquote, begin development of downtown Thousand Oaks. That really officially started the wheels turning on this project. Following that action in August, you approved the contract for Ramey and Associates.
Money.
And that will describe in a moment the diversity of disciplines that was brought to bear on this project through that contract.
Framework for design
staff. That led to some plan concepts and approach
What?
the downtown committee. After we presented those in March,
You don't need to read it.
spent about a month and a half
You don't want me to read it?
engagement activities. We'll talk about those in a minute. This led to the master plan, and tonight we are
I'll be going in and out, folks, because some of the stuff they're talking about is kind of boring.
I want to point out, as we're here right now in the stage, that we see the master plan not as the end of the process, but really as the beginning. It's the beginning of how things should move forward, presenting some preliminary steps. But what we did in the plan is consolidate the ideas so that there is a consolidated vision to move forward. So this is not the end. This is really what we see as the beginning of the greater things. Let me start with just a little bit of background. As located in the site, School Road on both sides of Thousand Oaks Boulevard. We noticed really quickly that this area has some incredibly strong elements for a downtown. We have this great building that we're in with theaters. There is City Hall. There's a huge amount of investment in parking structure. You have retail with the lakes. You have the gardens of the world. There's retail. There's open space. So there's a lot of elements that are really important to build on for a downtown core area. What the area was missing is a little bit, there's more cohesion between the areas. So connectivity between these different pieces and cohesion, and really places for people to meet and interact. Because when it comes right down to it, downtowns are places where people come and they hang out and they meet and they interact. And part of this process was to identify those types of spaces and create those types of spaces and activities where people could interact. We started early on in the process with asking this question of what makes a downtown or a downtown core. And we have here just a couple of the points that we talked to. There's a diversity of uses in the area with retail, entertainment, food, housing, and jobs. Downtowns are walkable. They're easy to get to. They have an identity. You know when you've arrived. They have activities that draw people in and allow people to spend time there more than just going to one activity and leaving, which is close to how it functions right now. And there are a diversity of public spaces for people in different stages of life, different activity levels. The diagram on the right shows just a quick way of looking at a downtown and the way activities and uses can work together. You have people who populate the area, residents, employees, visitors, and then one of the core themes of the downtown is events and culture. You then layer on top of that cafes and bars for people to spend a little bit more time there. Next, and a harder level to that is full service food and beverage. And then finally, the most difficult piece is actually retail that draws people in. What we find with downtowns is that the more activities there are, the more diversity of activities, the more time people spend in an area, and then the more money that they spend, and then the more time they spend, and the more they interact with people. So these things kind of start working together. Based on this, and based on the discussions with stakeholders, we created a preliminary vision for the downtown, which you see here, which includes making downtown a unique destination, having a diversity of uses, focusing activity along Thousand Oaks Boulevard.
It won't be a destination if illegals kill Americans.
Thousand Oaks Boulevard it's a busy street, and so one of the questions is where do we focus our activity? We thought that the vision should take advantage of the strengths of the area, build off of the strengths that are already here. Create an area that is for pedestrians. There's pedestrian comfort and safety that attracts people of all ages, from kids to folks who are retired and everybody in between. Make the downtown the place to go, so that if there's an event or an activity, people think, yeah, it's going to be in the downtown core. Maintain the general traffic capacity of Thousand Oaks Boulevard. Thousand Oaks Boulevard serves an important function in the transportation system, so maintain traffic capacity and provide sufficient and convenient, recognizing also that parking trends and transportation trends are changing. Hire the architect for the West Side property, redesign Thousand Oaks Boulevard, continue and expand. There's a lot of partnerships now, but expand those downtown area. Stakeholders, for this vision, create parking programs,
We're not butterflies, we're human beings.
create higher
And borders matter. Let's just get started.
Mike wants to know where indivisible
I'm going to turn over now to Elizabeth.
As Matt mentioned,
Mike wants to know where indivisible is.
Everywhere.
Okay.
in 1975, my parents graduated from Westlake High School and Thousand Oaks High School. I was raised here. I went to school. So this plan's been really exciting to me on a personal level, professional level. Growing up here, we would always talk about wanting this place to go and how there really wasn't much for kids to do outside of school. There wasn't a place to do like that. So it's an honor to be here talking with you about my hometown and the future downtown park. Through an overview of the home.
Dragging this out because they don't want to talk about Sb54. That's what's happening. They're dragging this out.
We presented our initial direction, vision, and ideas to you, council, on March 6th. And we spent the following month and a half conducting various
Ventura County is kind of tough, isn't
This
it?
included an online survey
Cindy
that
Valley's
asked
the only
basic
city.
questions like, do you agree that
Because it acts like it's part of
downtown?
Allen County.
Do you ask questions like, what types of streets? The survey had a total of 689 responses. We then did pop-up workshops, which are more informal meetings that are aimed at touching people as they go about their normal routine. This is a more casual environment to get the word out about the plan and have an opportunity for discussions where folks can ask questions about the plan and also provide input. We had a total of 552 visitors to the 4 events that took place at 3 different ones. We then held 3 focus groups, one with seniors,
It'll
one
get
with
interesting to see
teens, and one with working professionals, which were smaller and more formal meetings where we presented detailed vision for the downtown and then facilitated a discussion.
Yeah.
We had a total of 46 participants at these focus groups. The final outreach event was an open house, which was held on April 26th, where we presented the draft plan to the community with graphic representations, results from the online survey, and offered another opportunity for folks to come, which had 30 attendees. Overall, we had consistent feedback, generally that folks were excited about the idea of a downtown and happy to be included in the process. So next, I'm going to walk us through demographics, and then next after that will be questions and responses. So starting with demographics, you can see here the survey respondents generally represent the city as a whole. So 65% are 45 years or older, 47% have lived in the city for 20 years or longer.
Yeah.
So when asked if folks agree that Thousand Oaks needs a downtown, 69% strongly agreed or somewhat agreed. When asked, do you agree with the vision for the town square at St. Charles Plaza? 67% strongly agreed or strongly. When asked, do you agree with the vision of making downtown a premier evening and destination, 61% strongly agreed or somewhat agreed. When asked, do you agree with the vision for the West Side area, 65% strongly agreed or somewhat agreed. When asked, do you agree with the vision for Thousand Oaks Boulevard, 64% strongly agreed. We just wanted to note that these are the 5 big components of this plan, and all of them have over 60% of respondents agree or strongly agree.
Right.
So now, I just want to note as well, if you want a more detailed look at the online survey or
In general, visit the two appendix of the plan, appendix A and appendix D. There were much more detailed questions. This was just a brief.
That may be the explanation.
They can't silence me. We really enjoyed this process.
Great, thank you, Matt. This is to wrap up. Before I do that, I just wanted to also recognize my far left is Peter Gilly, Deputy Community Development Director, who played a key role in this entire project, coordinating between city staff and consulting team. Did a really exceptional job. So the recommendation before you tonight, three-parted. One is to adopt the draft resolution to establish what endorses the master plan. Second is to authorize staff to solicit requests, proposals, and qualifications for the redesign of Civic Plaza campus and frontage, what is just described in terms of both the front of this building and also the adjacent park area. And then finally to authorize staff to solicit the same requests for proposals and qualifications for the future phases of the downtown streetscape improvements. Bringing all the folks for a very nice presentation.
Didn't start talking till 10. Till 10 o'clock.
There's well over a year of work that went into this vision, if you will.
So I was done by 2. You know, like 3 o'clock. Then I went out and had dinner at a local business. I didn't drive home until, I didn't leave up until 5 a.m. And guess what? I hit the traffic.
Yeah.
The morning traffic. I didn't get home until like 7 o'clock. So I slept, and then I woke up at 3. And then I had to go to a radio show, and then go to San Dimas. I'll never do that again.
I left at midnight, got home at 2, got up at 6.
For the future of Thousand Oaks, in particular the downtown area. And for sure, many of the people in the audience are seeing this for the first time. And I think this is giving your input to see if this is something that you agree with. Now, what I am interested in is the parking piece. We have a development agreement for so, and I'm not sure whether that development.
I wasn't. You should have seen me earlier. I raised heaven crazy. I called people out.
No, there's not. There's a development distribution agreement between Crusoe and the city.
I think we should learn from Camarillo.
2000 three amendments. It essentially
we should really scare them.
Yeah.
Improvements on the lakes property, including the area behind. That still would be valid, and if any alternate development was proposed, then that would be considered through an amendment as we've done in the past between the city and
I was just like, and it's not expired, and is it open-ended? I mean, I know you said it's not expired. But.
Correct. It basically rents the land. It controls the actual construction of improvements on the lake's property. And it was adopted in 2000.
But for 50 years.
The terms, some of the terms run out to 45 years, but as you recall, it's been changed most recently to allow George Miller restaurant use. A vision that is consistent with the specific plan for that area that currently parking structure on the backside of the lake where the surface lot is being modified, then it will be modified with the DDA. Really mutually with Caruso and the city. That's how it's been done originally and through the past 3 amendments. Bring it back to you for approval.
There's a seat that's open right there, George.
No, the press, you could sit there.
Facilities that was a parking structure and a movie theater, which I don't think that would be an interesting movie theater in this day and age. But I remember that the city would have a financial responsibility if and when a parking structure were to be.
Correct. And the master plan is pretty that is something articulated to a greater deal detail with tours so that
They're
it is
so
something
brainwashed.
that
They're just
city
so
not
dumb.
unilaterally propose an amendment to really work with.
I'm gonna go that way when I go to speak.
Yeah, me too.
And then the second question, or the second topic is
I don't wanna
traffic
get-
and
I don't wanna get
circulation.
dropped
We have a
my ass.
circulation element
I
coming
think
up
you could try
for
that.
renewal.
Well, the circulation element, we
Mike,
have talked recently.
you touch me again, I'll drop your
City
ass.
Council about amending the general plan. The last comprehensive review of the circulation element was in 1996, along with land use. We've amended it a number of times since then, but in terms of a comprehensive review, that would be part of that general plan update.
I'm glad that that will be coming, because that will be vitally important to the flow of down those boulevards, as well as the level of service. Now, the bike lanes were and are of a big, I shouldn't say concern, but interest to not only the planning commissioners, but to our big various groups of cyclists we have in Thousand Oaks. So how would we be handling adding additional bike lanes?
Well, one of the advantages of the proposed street cross-section that Matt described is that currently it has a center 2 lanes in each direction that has on-street parking on both sides of the street. That is based on the removal of any raised landscape. That allows flexibility going forward if we wanted to modify that cross-section to provide a different type of accommodation for bicycles. Right now, the concept continues the use of sharrows and surface that bicycles can be encountered. But there is a trade-off here. If we were to, for instance, include class 1 bike paths, we would potentially have to consider elimination of on-street parking or occasion. The beauty of it, though, is that those changes can be done at very low cost, so that we're restriping of the existing traffic. So the way that we modify the plan, in fact, commission input, evolve over time, and doing this over time. Bicyclists and with this design have the opportunity to modify the street design.
Right, yeah.
And we wouldn't be interested if there's a category of class 4 to qualify for these, or whatever they call these.
Yeah, that's tough. I couldn't do that. Class 4 as in set street bikeways, just so everyone's on the same page with this. So yeah, that is absolutely a possibility. You could do that within, on the right of way through striping and modifications. I think there's two trade-offs that you have here, and I mentioned that you only have a 100-foot right of way, and so you have to balance the different modes. It was critical for a wide sidewalk, but you could certainly do some modifications to get class 4 bikeway in either on one side or both sides of the street. You probably have to reduce parking or reduce the vehicle traffic.
Okay.
But it's a possibility there, absolutely.
Thank you. Mr. Pound, thank you. Mr. Pound, and is it a class 4 category that would qualify for the government grants?
Typically it would.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Adams.
Thank you, Mayor Fax. Excellent presentation. Thank you very much. This is mine to proposals for the redesign of Discourse Plaza, which would necessitate hiring an architect, and also proposals for the streetscape. There's a couple things missing in a sense, but I know we're going to attend it. Request for proposal on the west side property, and ultimately the NTT program, the front of the building. What will be the process or the timeline that will include those two elements?
We anticipate bringing the request for proposals back to you in the not too distant future, later this year, for we are basically researching some aspect of that transfer as we speak, of that development and transfer. but we'll be bringing that back to you separately. Just for programming, we've already met with the Arts Advisory Committee and want to be sure that we have close cooperation with cultural research staff as well as the advisory committee moving forward. So we didn't want to put either of those items on your action list tonight. Really, additional work on both.
Okay, so we can expect at least
Mr. Price. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In reference to the West Side property there, greater project, we did have some national development, including them, because there were some planned grants that we might be able to guide us and provide some funding.
You don't have that.
The realization. An analyst on that. Great, thank you. All right, any other questions for staff?
No more questions.
No more. Our first speaker is Miriam Lieberman. Following Ms. Lieberman will be Mr. Tony Princeton.
Mr. Tony.
Yeah. If you don't have any symptoms and you don't have any if we use, we don't consider it pre-existing.
Physician in this community for 36 years. I'll be transitioned here at the Conejo Free Clinic. I remember I'm here to really request continued interest in providing safe bike infrastructure. I've lived here since 1980. Initially, I commuted to Cedar Sinai from a residency, and it took about 50 minutes. Within 2 years, that commute took an hour and a half. Since I've been living here, I first lived in Agora. Thousand Oaks didn't go all the way through from Agora to Thousand Oaks, and Canaan didn't go through, and since then Agora's become a huge. I started actually my work from Newberry Park to Westlake Village by electric bike, and that just changed everything to being stuck in the car and in traffic, now to enjoying the commute, enjoying nature, and also becoming so increasingly aware of the physical space of community and businesses. And it led to just a greater community engagement. In terms, just one other comment, I remember years ago we went to the Santa Monica 3rd Street Promenade, and unfortunately we picked a Sunday, and I don't know what day we went, but it literally took us an hour to leave the parking structure, and that was the last time I ever went to the 3rd Street Promenade. Now, with enjoying the bike, and especially the electric bike, has just transformed to enjoying the city as a destination area rather than trying to get away from it. This downtown master plan is a dream, but I just envision that same kind of traffic nightmare and parking nightmare, which is completely ameliorated with using a bike, an electric bike. Many of us, you know, there's a growing bike community and electric bike community.
Good luck.
And the more crowded the streets are, the more intimidating the sharrows are. And so I just continue to urge, you know, working with the Bike Advisory Committee and providing safe bike infrastructure leading to the downtown center and bike parking. So we don't see it as a place to shun because of traffic.
Time's up.
Time's up. Enjoy as a destination, cruising person, you know, to bye-bye.
Thank you.
So, thank you so much.
From the participating, followed by Jared Hill Dawson. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mayor Fox, council members, staff. Welcome tonight.
No,
It's
it's not him.
exciting to see the plans that are slated for downtown. We appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight on the California Museum of Oaks and Solano. I'm also a long-term resident, 1966. Grew up out here, raised my family out here, run my business out here, and I'm also privileged to be the chairman of the California Museum of Art, Solano, which is right out here on the west property, and has been growing and really becoming a nice part of the community. Having grown up out here, I've seen the city evolve really into a fantastic community that's different than most any other community that I've. One of the things that is lacked over the years but has improved is some of the cultural amenities that are out here.
That's our side because it has the flag there, right? The flag
There's a lot out here, but for a lot of us, we would travel
Oh my
to
God.
go down to see a show.
Keep your legs upside down.
Someplace, and now we have this great
Where is that?
performing arts, and now I think
It's like Santa Monica.
Someone needs to drop their ass.
Yeah.
but we still have traveled to go see cultural amenities like
Okay, you're
museums
fine.
and things like that, exhibitions all throughout LA and sending bumper to bumper traffic. I think by bringing some resources downtown, eliminate some of the traffic, people can stay here and walk, ride the bikes, and do things like that. Solano shares a similar vision that the city has in creating a destination draw for this downtown area, and we want to see a vibrant downtown experience. And we see the museum as, and we've had great conversations and meetings with Andrew Powers here at the city and other and sharing some of the outdoor exhibitions and things that are planned for this site. So we're excited about it, having the museum here in downtown. We're right in front of the property now, and we've been hosting, so we're working and collaborating with the city on this arts event coming up here in June. So I just want to thank you for the consideration. I know building, something like a museum or a downtown, it takes a lot of time, a lot of collaboration from a lot of individuals, and I feel like we're moving the ball in the right direction.
And also, Murtaza Morji.
Okay, they're gone. Bye. Bruce. Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Okay, how about Sean Brady?
What's up, Tex? What's up, Tex?
Where's Sean? You can go next.
There's Tex. Yeehaw.
Your name for the record? I'm from Magura Hills. Honorable council members and fellow neighbors. Last year I started renting in Agora Hills with the intention of buying a home in Pinellas Valley. I'm a millennial. Millennials are, up to 35, 36 years old right now. I'm an Eagle Scout. I work in medical device innovation. I'm recently married, so soon to have kids. So I might be wrong, but I venture to guess that you'd be interested in attracting families like mine who are soon going to have children or have children. When I moved here to the Pinellas Valley, I assumed that I would be buying a house in Thousand Oaks, the largest city here. My wife was more skeptical. As I said, I was recently married, and as I say, your wife is always right, and in this case, she might be. Education is one of the most important issues for my wife and me. I've been watching with great concern what is happening on the Pinellas Valley School Board. I mean, the school board that, as reported in the Ventura County Star and the Thousand Oaks Acorn, violated state law. A school board whose president wastes the school district funds, I assume find out who in our community disagreed with him. A school board with a member who wrote to a 16-year-old journalist student comparing her to Hitler.
Let me just stop it.
So,
we need to get back on the downtown
sure.
issue.
So,
okay.
Sure. So my point is that unless there's dramatic change in the school board, people like me who were interested, we're going to have a harder time considering moving here. And even though you're building, the business district to attract people like me, it might not work out that way. So I hope to see some change, and you're finding something here that's good, but you need the whole package.
Can you imagine?
Thank you.
Wow.
Yay! We're up school board.
Good
I hope
evening,
they're that enthusiastic when we
Mayor
oppose
Fox,
Sb54.
council members, staff. My name is Sean Baradian. I'm a lifelong resident of Thousand Oaks.
Right.
Also the president of Thousand Oaks Boulevard Improvement District and Thousand Boulevard Association. We've been working closely with staff and Raymond Associates on this conceptual downtown core master plan for over a year now. We participated in several of the outreach efforts. We posted the survey on our website as well. And the support was overwhelming, that everybody encourages and supports this vision. This is really a continuation of what we see has been over several times, and we are very supportive. We recognize that this is conceptual, and there's going to be a lot of work done in the implementation of that. We heard comments this evening regarding the bike program. We just want to remind everyone that the boulevard is not just between Conejo School Road and Herb. So if that infrastructure was to be put in place.
My name is Alicia Blythe, and I own the property across the street, Oakley Square. And I'd like to thank the City Council for me to express my views regarding the progress and development of the beautification and branding of Thousand Oaks Boulevard. 27 years ago, Toba started working tirelessly to make Thousand Oaks Boulevard a thriving area for shoppers, diners, cyclists, residents, and visitors by putting together the Thousand Oaks Boulevard specific plan. The plan was to, quote, initiate and support physical improvements and code changes along the boulevard that were needed to revitalize and beautify Thousand Oaks Boulevard. The plan was unanimously passed in October 2011. That was 7 years ago. I was disheartened to note at the planning meeting a few weeks ago and today again that a consulting company did not really promote the importance of coordination of building multi-use buildings on the boulevard. We have over 50 retail vacancies on the boulevard. Why? We simply don't have the residential density and shoppers and diners from outside our area to support these businesses in town. Where are we today on multi-use buildings? We have a stalled multi-use building project in 2219 Thousand Oaks Boulevard, stalled multi-use building project 29 East Thousand Oaks Boulevard. We have a stalled multi-use building project at 1850 Thousand Oaks Boulevard that has been submitted by the funds, and the city has rejected it 3 times. What is holding these projects up? What is holding the city up? The city partnering with developers to get multi-use properties on the boulevard. Does the council and the city want to keep Thousand Oaks a sleepy veteran community where we'll simply move out? Or is the city and council ready to make tough decisions now, promote multi-use building, and get more projects moving? I'm asking the City Council to partner with these developers with stalled projects and figure out ways to get these projects moving forward now. And I'm asking the city to partner with other developers to additionally develop new multi-use buildings. I've said many times before, my family invested over $1 million to renovate our property on Thousand Oaks Boulevard. And this decision was based on the fact that the city passed a specific plan to make Thousand Oaks Boulevard a downtown destination. Other centers such as Clear Oaks, Sun Plaza, Heritage Plaza, and Skyline Plaza also made submits in their properties in anticipation of control, city planning, and the implementation of this specific plan and the beautification of Thousand Oaks Boulevard. We made the investment in Thousand Oaks, and we're asking the city and the city council to do the same. Please get these multi-use buildings built now.
There's
not
the sheriff
in 5
right there.
years, not in 10 years, but now. Thank you.
That's Sheriff King right there. Yeah. He's right over there. That's the sheriff. He's gonna. Yeah, with his arms crossed.
And council members.
Oh,
First,
okay.
I want to thank you all for being here tonight and being good sports and sitting in front of all these people who are going to yell at you. Hopefully not. Anyway, I'm here to my name is Joan Edwards. I am a homeowner in Thousand Oaks. And I am here on behalf of the Caneo Oak Tree Advocates this evening to plead for the life of the oak trees that are still existing on Thousand Oaks Boulevard. I attend regularly the Building Improvement District meetings that Sean is the president of. And if he's, there he is. And they held up a drawing of part of the new plan of the street. All the oak trees, the sidewalk trees were gone. So I'm here to plead for the sidewalk trees. They were probably planted here when the city first began. And a lot of them have had a rough time. If you look at their trunks, a lot of times the sidewalk is coming right up to their trunks. I hope you don't let this happen. So my question is to the staff. Are you going to allow for the cutting down of the sidewalk trees? We have many beautiful coast live oaks, holly oaks, and then back a little bit more are the valley oaks, the Quercus lobata. When you walk down the street, you need shade, and these trees are all about, well, most of the street sidewalk trees are 50 years old. The lobatas, some of them look like they're 300-400 years old. They're very old trees. They lived here a long time. We've done our best to try to kill them because we've diverted the water into culverts that go underneath the ground in front of this building and right down the way. In front of Lupe's, I think the culvert has held them up a bit, but they're starting in again. Anyway, I digress there. Please assure me that I'm here to plead for the life of the existing sidewalk trees and oak trees that still...
How about American citizens?
The first tranche of 5,000 new units, which you've successfully gone around Measure E to give us. The first 5,000 are coming. So that's my first question is, please, is it possible to not cut down these trees? Any of them, hopefully. Because I know that what they'll be replaced with is popsicle trees, crepe myrtles, you name it. My other two, I just have two quick questions for the staff. How much do you think that the traffic will increase on Thousand Oaks Boulevard when we get these new 5,000 units built on our boulevard? And what percentage, that's the first question. The second question is, what percentage of these new units will be affordable or really low cost? Because you heard all the people who came to speak for Measure E being circumvented want affordable housing. So what do you think the affordable percentage will be once the builders start to build these 5,000 units on our boulevard? Thank you.
Please. Save the trees. Save the trees. Thank God. Please, are we done?
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. A few responses. First of all, to Ms. Blyer in terms of her comments about mixed-use buildings on the boulevard. The project at the previous
wow. Wait a minute. El Cerrito is, well, that's in North.
Damn, El Cerrito. The project will be going, as we say, in the near future. That would include 36 apartments, as well as commercial retail area. The proposed project at 299 Thousand Oaks Boulevard is actually going forward. It's not stalled. We have received the formal application for that project, and we are currently evaluating it. And basically, looking at the context of preparing it for planning commission hearing, that project will eventually come back to you for final approval. That would potentially include 242 apartments, as well as commercial
I can't believe church people support SB54.
They're asleep.
Yeah. I wonder how they feel if someone broke into their house and killed their family. It's just nuts. That's Kimberly, right? Kimberly? Is that Kimberly?
That's where El Cerrito is.
El Cerrito.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's like Riverside.
Holy shit. That's ridiculous. A few responses with regard to traffic. Traffic is evaluated as part of the environmental assessment for each and every one of these projects.
Of the paralegals wearing lime green shirts. Have you seen that?
In conformance with the California Environmental Quality Act. Tonight's document, the revision, is not subject to sequence, but as these projects go forward, the actual construction is always subject to that type of evaluation. The question about affordable units, first of all, City Council did not add 5,000 units to its
She has green as well.
I
know, but that's the idea.
Oh, okay. I don't know what group you think they're from.
Definitions don't mean anything to these people, so green can be just about anything.
Do you think that's indivisible?
That's what we're seeing in the
Probably.
private sector. In terms of street trees, there are oaks
Please,
on the
stop
boulevard.
talking about
However, the 1,004 explicit plan as adopted in 2011 and also as amended
Then they
in
want us to all be like,
2016
just
does
run out.
include alternate
I'm not
street
leaving until I
trees
speak
with
against
or included,
SB54.
because they're less likely to damage the sidewalk, less likely to.
Folks, you got to go to your cities too and demand that they opt out of SB54. Don't just watch me do it. I want to watch you do it.
Larger planting areas, confined spaces, and that there is a difference.
I'll be right back.
As we speak.
Preserve Valley Oaks, we specifically discussed new technology such as solar cells, which can be used to install the oak trees so that they do not damage any sidewalks. So that technology is available. And while you may, while you suggested that in order to
Read. Mr. Price, Bruce, comments on Mr. Adams?
Thank you, Mayor. I must tell you, this document that we are receiving here tonight, the Downtown Core Master Plan, is one of the most significant documents that I've seen on my tenure on the council, and it could be one of the most significant documents in the history of the city. It is, I'd like to see a copy of it on every coffee table in the city of Thousand Oaks, because it's not just an analysis, it's an action plan. It's an action plan that this council can and will achieve. And just a quick aside on the trees. On page A20, what type of features would you like to see in town square? Landscaping and large trees has 72%, the highest. So we're well aware of
And they're
desire for
losing
trees.
numbers by the day.
Nobody wants us to make sure that happens.
Christian anymore.
Just a quick comment about a couple of watershed events. The specific plan was mentioned. It was adopted in 2011. It was for the entire length of the boulevard. The ad hoc committee decided to get things done. We wanted to narrow our focus on the downtown core, which went from Earth to Kinderhook School Road. That was the first watershed decision. We're not going to ignore the rest of the boulevard, but we have to start somewhere. And so that's what we decided to do there. And the second decision after meeting with Rainey and Associates and talking about the entire area, all the private property, all the property that the city owns.
There's the press
we felt
doing
it was
nothing.
best to work on pieces of property that were actionable initiatives that the city
And there's George.
the West
He's
Side
the real
property,
press.
opening up the Civic
But they
Arts
don't let him
Plaza,
separate one.
working on the infrastructure of the boulevard and program in the front of the Civic Arts Plaza. These are things that we can do. These are things that we will do. And I want to thank Rainey for the public outreach. I think it was excellent. You hit all the right chords and talked to all the right people. I'm happy to see that overall, the citizens of Thousand Oaks on a 3-to-1 basis approve of what this downtown master core looks like.
No, they don't.
And I think that I think we have a realistic, achievable plan here. It's going to benefit the city of Thousand Oaks. I think it's going to rival the influence of some of the things that are standard in the city right now, like the Oaks Mall, like the Promenade, like the Civic Arts Plaza. It's going to have massive influence on this city in years to come. And I'm very happy to have served on this committee, and I'm happy to support my fellow council members, Joel Price's motion. Thank you.
Okay, then vote.
Just a quick comment, having been on the committee for the past year and certainly been dealing with the whole idea, the vision of the boulevard for many, many years. If you had an opportunity to listen to the proposal and look at what's being proposed tonight, what you didn't hear
He's running for board of supervisors, I think.
Of the boulevard, contrary to what you might have heard over the last couple of months, the facts are that's really not the focus of what it is we're trying to accomplish. What you heard, what you saw was a redesign of the front of this facility, and redesign in a way that makes it more pedestrian, more people friendly. Saw the fountains with kids, public amphitheaters. We're looking for a space where events, activities, the street fair, for example, these types of activities will be moved from Moore Park Road to Thousand Oaks Boulevard in front of this facility. That's what we're trying to achieve. That's what our consultants, our experts told us was a key element to creating this kind of downtown feel, is create events, create reasons for people to come here. So that's really the focus of what we're trying to do in these public spaces. You saw widened sidewalks where people can safely and in a very kind of comfortable way walk along the paseos and the sidewalks. Lots of landscaping. And finally, you saw that park once concept, where you park the car, you get out, and kind of walk around the downtown area. On the private side, yes, there is some component of mixed use, but clearly, any reasoned person can see that is not the focus of what it is we're trying to achieve. We're trying to achieve open space, people, friendly areas, and interesting places where people come, spend some time.
You have an iPhone too?
The idea is,
Yeah, I'm at 31%.
Whether you live right here in town, or you live in Calabasas or Camarillo or Moore Park, if you want something to do, you come to the boulevard, so to speak, and spend some time in our great community. So it's a concept.
I don't have a lot of trust for government promoting business. I just don't.
All of this is within the control of the city of Thousand Oaks. It doesn't rely really that much on private developers in the private sector, although we are looking to partnership with those private parcels down the road. So I'm excited about this, as Mr. Brad pointed out. I don't know why I ranked this.
Please stop. We want to talk about sanctuary state.
You can see if you've been in town for a while, these are significant, exciting improvements to an already great facility in that great downtown area. So I'm excited about supporting it. And finally, just want to thank staff, Rainey and consultants, for all the public outreach. One of the reasons that remind you that this has been basically supported, over 60-65% of the folks, is the outreach that we have done. We didn't come with a predetermined idea and try to shove it down people's throats. We really started with kind of an open palette and listened to what folks had to say and tried to incorporate their comments, their ideas, what they'd like to see in their city, into this company. And I think so far we've struck that balance. So with that, if there's no further comments, please no.
Yes, vote now.
Well, maybe the final comment.
Oh,
I just wanted to say thank you also to our consultants who developed this. And as was mentioned earlier, I want to make sure that everybody knows that this is just the beginning and that there will be more community outreach and more workshops where you can give us your feedback for the next phases of this particular concept project.
Please just stop these. That's right, we're 9C. We're 9. You know, see, we're at the very end. You know, see, we have to wait the whole time. You know,
I'll save your seat.
unlike in Tehachapi, you know, where they did it right away. That was so much fun. We were like rock stars up there. They just loved that we were there. It was so exciting.
Oh, I think they're taking a break.
So how many cities have you gone to and listened to?
So I've done maybe about 20. 46 cities have opted out against SB54. 13. I'm going to count MODOC because MODOC sent out a resolution like the moment the idea was born in 2017 that the county was going to abide by federal law. So we're going to count. Uh-oh. Shut up.
Take your conversations outside.
Good evening, Council and Mayor. The city's general municipal election will be held on November 6, 2018, where 3 council members will be elected for 4-year terms, and voters will vote on the cannabis business tax measure. Staff has prepared resolutions calling the election to elect 3 council members and to allow voters to vote on the proposed measure. Rescinding Resolution 98195, which provides for the conduct of a special runoff election for tie votes. Requesting the Board of Supervisors to consolidate the city's election with the statewide gubernatorial general election that includes contract and payment. Adopting candidate statement guidelines and costs. Directing the city attorney to prepare an impartial analysis on the measure. Authorizing the city council to file an argument in support of the measure and providing for rebuttal arguments. I would like to add the resolution calling the election includes a provision to determine a vote of elective offices by lot due to the high costs associated with conducting special elections. As in past years, the League of Women Voters is requesting approval to hold a televised city council forum.
Really?
Fundraising for the election began on May 6th. Candidates are required to submit a Form 501 prior to receiving or expending any funds.
Build that wall.
Contribution limits are $530 per person or committee per the city's champion contribution limits.
Oh my God.
The
500.
candidate nomination period begins on July 16th.
You want to contribute to the city
and
council
concludes
election.
on August 10th.
That's a First Amendment issue.
If
Somebody ought
an
to take that.
incumbent decides not to run, the deadline is extended an
Because in
additional 5
Torrance,
days
you
to
can only
August
donate
16th.
1,000 per candidate. It's ridiculous. We need our own campaign finance like freedom.
Melissa Hurtado, who will discuss the proposed ballot.
Thank you, Ms. Armington. Last November, after nearly a year of research and community engagement, City Council adopted a commercial cannabis ordinance to allow for and regulate 1 medical dispensary and 1 testing facility. In December, when staff brought forth an application and selection process for the cannabis businesses, City Council also directed staff to draft a tax measure for consideration at a later date. On April 24th, staff presented details of the cannabis business tax measure to City Council for consideration. If approved tonight, the tax measure will appear on the November 6th ballot and, if passed by voters, will become effective January 1st. These are the tax rates as discussed at the April 24th meeting. If you recall, for a variety of reasons, it was recommended that the tax measure include cannabis business activities that are not currently allowed in the ordinance.
This is so stupid.
Also
It's going to drive
important
the
to note
pot
that this
business
tax is
underground
levied
again.
against the
It'll still be
businesses
illegal.
and not a sales
Good,
tax.
it should be.
If placed on the
the point
ballot,
is
the
it-
maximum rate displayed here would be decided upon by voters.
What was the point of having an initiative to make it legal?
To lower or raise the tax up to these maximum rates.
Build the
If approved tonight,
Build that
this is a
wall.
question that will appear on the November 6th
I think I might
ballot.
start chanting. Do you have a door to lock it?
Related to the cannabis tax measure, these are the items that need to be considered tonight. First, to place the measure on the ballot,
Yeehaw.
City Council must approve the proposed resolution by a 2/3 vote. Staff also recommends that City Council adopt the resolution directing the city attorney to prepare an
that's
impartial
him right
analysis
there.
of the measure. Additionally, staff
Who?
recommends adopting
That's the
a
indivisible leader
resolution
right
to
there.
file an argument
Oh,
in
yeah,
support of the
Porky.
measure, as well
He
as
can't keep his
rebuttal
hands to
arguments.
himself. Mike,
Keep in mind that should City Council decide not to file the argument in support of the measure, other voters will have the opportunity to file the
We don't wanna
argument
talk
and
about
not convey the same message as City Council would desire. Should City Council decide to file in support of the measure, code requires that the names of the participating council members are called out in the resolution.
There's Carolyn.
Therefore, during the motion, we will
Carolyn.
ask you to identify which
Tea
council
Party
members
lady's
will be
right there.
offering the argument.
Which
About
one?
half
She's
the
right there in the brown jacket. She just waved. She's right here. She's climbing up the stairs right
Election
now.
will be available on the city's
Which the green
website
folder?
where
She's with
various
us.
information can be obtained related to voter registration, campaign disclosures, polling locations, and information on proposed cannabis business tax. Staff's recommendation this evening is that
How much
City
you want
Council
to bet?
adopt
After this, they're
recommendations
gonna
1
take a
through
10-minute
10, including authorization for the City Council to submit an argument in favor of the business tax measure.
You watch.
That concludes our
So after
presentation,
this,
and staff is
Greg,
available
they're
to
going to have a
answer
10-minute break. You watch. They're going to have a 10-minute. You watch. You watch. Please, we want to talk about ending sanctuary. Let's go.
Report, need a motion.
Let's go. Let's go.
Mr. Adams.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll move staff recommendation 9B.
No.
Before we go there, we do need direction from the council with respect to recommendation number 6, adopting a resolution authorizing the city council or community council members to file written arguments, including direction from city council members to be written by all 5 council members and signed by 2 or 3. We need direction on that.
Okay, so let's take the motion off the table.
Yeah, I will,
Okay. Ms. Rodriguez or Ms. Newman, can you better clarify exactly the action or direction from council?
Yes, so the code does state that in order for any members of the council to write an argument, we must include that in tonight's resolution. So my recommendation would be that the full council.
Is he still against it? Maybe. Who did you vote for sheriff?
McDonald.
Okay, me too. He was against it. I assume he's still against it. I thought he was.
He's here. Against. Yeah.
Let's go. Well, here he comes.
Yeah, he's running for sheriff. It's like a doofus.
Round up those heifers.
Good evening. My name is Bruce Boyer. I'm a candidate for sheriff here in Ventura County. And there are 2 items on this measure that
Jeff's
I want
smiling.
to specifically speak to you as. To say to a candidate to pay $1,250 to put a ballot statement out, I think no. I think the voters want to see a candidate statement. And I think we're all a little distressed when we look at a sample ballot and we don't see a statement from a candidate.
Yeah.
I like more information.
Me too.
I like to know who I'm voting for and who I'm voting against.
Yeah.
I think the cost of $1,250
It's
to print
nuts.
that tiny little candidate statement.
Bullshit.
Well,
Sorry.
I think there's better accountants in this room than I am, but I don't think you can come up with that as a real number. And even if it is true,
Yeah.
I'd like you to consider the cost to the voters to not have that information. A candidate statement ought to be something that is included with the filing fee. Make it a nominal charge. Make it $200 so that people can know who they are. Okay.
You got it, Tim.
We're going to go
I want it.
election night party afterwards. I'm going to buy somebody a beer. That is normal activity. Apparently more people smoke pot than drink beer. Okay. Why are you inhibiting people?
He wants to be the sheriff.
Before it was legal, 50% of the adults in this state were willing to break the law to do this. Hey, not my choice, but respect their choice. When you
He's pro pot, baby. Yeah, that's true.
Hello, did you think
That's what I was
nobody
talking about.
using it when it was illegal?
That's what I'm talking about. Taxing it's
You
stupid.
tax it, they're not going to pay it.
Hello.
It's going to be a complete black market,
Yep, that's
underground
what I told you.
delivery service, because that's what's going on
should
right
be.
now.
That's what I told you.
And
No,
as sheriff,
I think it should be
don't think
legal.
you're going to be looking at
But
this
it should be
cowboy and say,
discouraged.
oh yeah, get those deputies out there chasing those down
I
those
understand.
people that didn't pay their marijuana tax.
So
No,
they should be
no,
hiding in the
that's
shadows.
not what a taxpayer
Undocumented
wants to
smokers.
have the
Yes,
sheriff's
they shouldn't.
department do. Treat it like any other business. Let them just sell it. And let's not be passing our moral judgments on people.
Yeah.
I was in Simi Valley.
Greg.
What? Legitimate.
Judging people.
Who is anybody
You
to
betcha.
say whether it's
I do all the
legitimate or
time,
not?
all day long.
So let's all get along. Thank you.
Constantly.
Yeah. Vote for Bruce. Vote for Bruce. Go Bruce. Yeah. Are you gonna buy me that beer? Are you gonna buy it to me?
Oh, could you sign it?
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's have some decorum here, even if we're talking about pot.
Arthur, I was just out there by the restroom, and I was standing there watching the TV, the monitor out there.
They see us?
Yeah. No, I didn't see him, but some big guy, he was a Democrat, walked up, he saw this, and he goes, what? And I go, yes? He goes, I can't even, and then walked away.
Triggered. Good. Hi, Grandpa. How are you? Vote on the damn thing. Just get it over with. Just vote. Just
The
really take.
motion passes 5-0.
Okay, we're next. Let's see if they have a break though.
They're gonna take a break. Watch. We're gonna take a break for about an hour. I'm sorry.
We're gonna take a 5-minute recess.
Thank you.
Take a 5-minute
Told you. Oh, 5 minutes. Okay, I was wrong.
Okay, my turn to back.
Of course they're gonna take a break.
Oh, here.
We want all these pesky out-of-towners to get out of here. Of course.
Let me get up.
Of course they're taking a break. I thought it was a friend of ours. It was somebody.
Sandy, is this your?
Oh, she got a better seat. That's why. What's your name?
Do you want to give it to her? There he is.
No, they're not leaving. We didn't drive all this way just to sit here and listen to them talk about pot.
Oh, did you want to wait? Oh, you have someone else to
I want to talk about the.
This looks good on you.
Would it?
I'll wear
Okay.
it. I'll wear it.
Put it around your arm. It's a retired pastor.
That's very effeminate, I think.
I know, that's the problem.
I'll wear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll wear
Yeah,
it.
no transgenderism, okay? Please. We ain't.
Did the person leave? Who's this is?
She's down there. It's hers. It's hers. She has the same thing.
She doesn't care?
She went to Target. Did a man join her in the bathroom too?
I'll wear it on my leg.
There you go.
A leg band. That's what they do in Texas.
Really? Okay. That's it. They took a break. You see? I called it. They did.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to delay this as long as we possibly can.
So I was out in the hallway watching on the monitor, and some guy saw this, and he walked up, some big guy, and he looked like he had mascara on. And he said, democracy is, some button that said, democracy is blah, blah, blah. And he goes, and I said, yes. And he goes, I just can't. And then he walked away.
Totally
when
triggered.
He saw that. Yeah.
Triggered.
I said, oh, you must be a Democrat.
It must be a leftist. There is so much voter fraud.
Oh, ridiculous.
This is such crap. How about sanctuary for voters?
That's what really bothers me. Every time a liberal goes on one of these talk shows and says, there wasn't any voter fraud, there's never been proven any voter fraud. When you have more votes than people that are old enough to vote.
In 11 counties.
Yeah, then there's voter fraud.
Voter fraud.
What is with these doughy-eyed liberals? I don't get what rock they've been living under.
What are you talking about now?
You want MS-13 as your next one?
I don't get it. It's like
I tried to explain it to them, but they just don't. Is that Noni?
Are their lives so
I haven't seen Noni in a while. I forgot what she looked like.
Michael, this is what I don't get. Are their lives so sheltered that none of this affects them at all? Because it affects me every single day. And I don't live in Huntington Park. I live in Santa Clarita, but all my money goes to keep my family away from that crap. It really does.
Rhonda!
I don't understand how these people can sit there like it's all like fine. I don't get it. I'm trying to figure it out.
You know what? It's
We have this massive homeless problem.
Huh?
We have this massive homeless problem, and they want more to just keep coming over the door.
They don't get it. How that drives up rents.
See, you remember what Evan Sayet talked about, okay? Modern liberals cannot distinguish right from wrong because it's bigotry.
Oh, that's kind of true.
That's why they're conspicuously and repeatedly stupid. Hi, George.
Hey, George.
Yeah, we made it.
Hey, George.
Yeah.
They're as wrong as wrong.
And they do it on purpose. Because modern liberals have been taught, if you think...
We've been looking for you.
Only because...
Noni! Hey, Noni. Yeah. How are you? You know, I keep trying to explain to the people who are for this crap, you really want MS-13 in your streets? You want Islamic terrorists on your streets? Because they're crossing the border illegally too.
But those are
Crimes! They've beaten children. They've raped kids. Domestic violence. It's crazy. And they said I was fear-mongering. San Diego County released 300 plus of these creepy people. I don't want criminal illegal aliens in my country. I don't want them as my neighbor. I don't want the people who enable them.
No country in the world. Yes.
This is okay. Let me
not respect its borders.
let me ask you something, Noni. You're from Egypt, right?
Yes.
Does Egypt have a wall?
Of course. We have a wall with Gaza. We don't want to.
They don't want the Gazans there.
The Arabs of Gaza can't come into Egypt.
There you go. And Israel has a wall. They have 2 walls.
So does Hungary.
Hungary has a big fence. These Arab countries have walls.
Trust me, we have bigger walls between each other.
Of course.
Arab countries with the West.
There you go. They don't want Al Qaeda. They don't want them.
No, we are sending Al Qaeda to us.
Oh, there you go.
To the West.
That's right.
They don't want the Muslim brothers. They're sending.
Hey, he made it, Mike. You made it. That's it. Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall. Egypt has a wall. I want the Egyptians to come over here and build my wall. And then they go back. You know what drives me crazy?
One country in the world that has loose borders like the United States.
Unbelievable.
And you know what? That is not compassion.
No, it's not.
It's gross negligence.
Yes. There's Mike. Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall. I have a door. I lock it. This guy, we agree. Doors work. We agree. Even if we disagree on the signs. See, that's the funny thing. When I had that discussion after DACA was rescinded, I was outside of the federal building. And this trendy, she had her bike. And I asked her the same thing. Do you have a door? Do you lock it? And I said, you don't believe in borders. I tried to grab her bike and she totally lost it. You believe in borders for you, but not for us? Total hypocrisy. Make sure to talk about Egypt and their wall. Oh, so, born in Egypt, in Cairo or Alexandria. Do you also speak French? Vous parlez français? Un peu, okay.
Not perfectly.
In Arabic too, right? Of course.
Yeah. Well, one of the Koch brothers has healthy.
I know. They used to be on our side, and then they became open border.
Yeah, assholes.
Well, one of them has.
They are assholes.
One of them is dropping out of the political scene
Because of his health. Yeah, there's guilt trips when you're putting illegals ahead of American citizens. No sanctuary. Hey, Jeff, veterans. So many homeless veterans. You know, and they want to bring more illegals across the border. You know, just keep bringing homeless, keep bringing homeless, keep bringing illegals. It's like, it's just unbelievable. You know, I think so. I think it is that they're so sheltered. Greg, I think it is that they're just so sheltered.
It is so sheltered.
They just live in their gated communities.
And none of this affects them. I don't get it, you know?
They have their nannies and they have their housekeepers.
And someone's got to cut their grass, too. That's exactly what that guy said.
And clean
Which
their
is really offensive. We have young people.
You know what? I had a lawn mowing business when I was in high school and college.
Everybody did.
And like, that's how kids can make money, you know? Selling lemonade, mowing lawns, cleaning the swimming pool.
There you go.
I lived in Florida. But anyway, yeah, we had hell of a lawns.
Noni, let me take a photo. Let me take a photo with all three.
Crap.
He lives in LA County with the minutes. They're just snobs, you know. It's like it's a mixture of white guilt and elitism and this globalist idealism. It's just nutty. Yeah, a better life at our expense.
All of the refugees are living on public assistance and in public housing.
Yep. They get all these. They get all the freebies and the goodies, and British citizens are, it's just unbelievable. And they are just for exposing what these migrants are doing.
England was the originator of free speech.
Yeah.
And now they're shutting people down, putting them in jail for simply reporting what's going on.
It's fascist.
Yep.
Let's go. Let's go. Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall. Nobody else wants. This is not like Huntington Beach. Huntington Beach, it was crazy. Everybody chanted. Everybody chanted. People are scared here. Build that wall, nice and tall. Round them up. Deport them all.
That they say about, they just had a ladder. Well, first of all, not if you have a double thing. Number two, if it's hard enough, the patrol will get there and arrest them.
Yeah, it's a huge delay, and a lot of people don't even do it. So.
Well, and I love they say, if you build a 50-foot wall, they have a 50-foot ladder. Yeah, which would require one person to go up and sit there, roll the ladder up, and put it down on the other side so we could get down.
Duh. Yeah.
Then nobody can get over except that one person.
that one person. Oh, I know. You'd have to make like 150-foot ladders.
Who would then?
There's Mandy. This is so awesome. I think, we may be outnumbered, but I feel I'm not going to do what they said in Camarillo. We're going to clap and we'll do whatever. I think that was wrong, but oh well. Build that wall, nice and tall. Round them up. Yeah, I know. They're feeling the same way we do. Build that wall, nice and tall. Make California great again. Deport all liberals. That will really solve the problem. I want to confront the sheriff one day. All right, sit down.
And you know what else he says? Nobody. Well, you moved around. I go, no, I didn't. He goes, yes, you did. I'm not going to argue with you.
Uh-oh. Well, he pounded it a second time. He's mad now.
I can't stand doctors. That's why I'm thinking about not going into medicine now. I might go back into software. Honest to God, I think a lot of them are just frauds and hoaxes.
I don't know, but their personality. But it's serious. I mean, the sheriff's here twice now. The sheriff was at Camarillo too. I really hate how he undermines this.
Arrogant.
Damn.
Yeah, arrogant. Haughty. Yeah. And narcissist. I love
the Episcopalian, the female ones, the Jews have their own version.
Yeah, I know. Women can be mothers. Men cannot be mothers. Men cannot be. Men are called to be pastors.
Based on the number of people here, I have a sense that probably like most of you are at.
Louder, please.
Before I turn it over to Ms. Leyva to provide the report, I want to make a couple of comments. And I want everybody's attention. To begin, many of you have been here for the last several months, and as you know, council has listened patiently to each and every comment on every side of the issue. And one thing I can promise you tonight is we will do the exact same thing tonight. We will listen patiently and respectfully to every speaker. Now, tonight, we have over 120 speaker comments. At 2 minutes each, that's 5 hours of public comment.
Damn.
If you look at the clock, that means that if everybody takes every minute of time, we're going to be here until well after 1 o'clock in the morning on a legislative update. I'm going to do my best to move everybody through it, but if you've been to the meetings, I do my best to be respectful to speakers, let them finish their comments, and even occasionally let them into the 2-minute time frame.
No.
Tonight, I plan on kind of doing the same thing, but with a couple of caveats, and I'm going to need your help for that. First, if you find yourself repeating something that we've heard multiple times, please do everybody the service of not repeating something that we've heard now 10, 15, 16, maybe even 100 times. I think that would be helpful. Many of you have prepared speeches. I understand as you see when people are commenting, if you could edit those down to where you make those kind of salient points that you want to make, I think that would be very, very helpful. That's number one. Number two, the logistics of the speakers. You saw it prior in the last couple. So here's what I'd like you to do, and I can cooperate with this. As I call the names, I'm going to call 3 names. So I'll call the speaker, I'm kind of a sports guy, so I'm going to call the person in the on-deck circle, and then the person in the hole. For you baseball fans. And I want you to line up and on that, at the end of that stairway right there, we actually have a deputy sheriff and a staff person there. So when you hear your name, either go up, or go down, whatever, and we want you to kind of stage at that area. So as the speakers finish, the next speaker can move in. That'll make a big difference in getting us out of here before some early hour. And the third thing is, I'm going to ask for your cooperation this time. In meetings past, I've provided some level of cheering and support for positions that you agree with. We have a lot of people in the audience tonight. So I'm going to respectfully ask, let the speakers make their comments, and let's bring on the next speaker. If you hear a comment that you disagree with, show some class, and let it go. I'm going to do my best to keep folks on point. If you need some examples of what we're looking for for patience, we're looking for kindness, we're looking for some self-control.
Damn.
And I think all of you know that we're neighbors here. I think we can get through this hearing and this report and some action by the council very nice. But it's going to take everybody's cooperation away. But as you can see, with all these folks, we're going to need the cooperation. So again, in summary, when I call the names, please line up over there. We're going to have a staff person. Do your best not to...
Okay, that means I'm going to be leaving after I speak. I have a bad feeling I just can't do it.
No.
Try to
I've
practice
ruined my health.
self-control and let the speakers finish their comments, and let's get to the next speaker without a lot of applause and yelling and screaming and all that stuff. Thumbs up on that, folks?
All right, we got it, Andrew.
I like it.
Maybe. I'm going to give it a side use.
So we're going to start with the greatest legislative analyst in the history of city government, and that's Ms. Villanueva.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor and council members. Tonight I present for your consideration the city's annual 2018 legislative program. The legislative program consists of legislative advocacy, pursuit of both federal and state funding, intergovernment relations, and oversight of city, state, and federal lobbyists. The legislative platform is my directive as the city's legislative affairs manager to advocate for state and federal legislation. The overarching tenets of advocacy pertain to 2 important areas: local control and local funding. Local control refers to what cities call home rule. How does legislation affect the city's ability to provide services, the ability to conduct business? How does it provide the ability to protect local land use?
That's part of it.
And maintain local infrastructure? Local funding relates to protecting and maintaining the city's general fund. Legislation is vetted to determine How does this impact the city's budget? Does legislation diminish the city's ability to provide local services such as water, trash collection, streets and roads? Or does new legislation create unfunded mandates that would shift budget priorities? Advocacy also requires attention to specific areas and trends that affect local, and I say local governance, such as affordable housing, transportation, sustainability, water conservation, arts and tourism. There are, however, limits to advocacy. The city will not take positions where it has no direct authority, ability, or resources to address these issues pertaining to individual rights,
That's so dumb.
international policies, or federal resources. Excuse me, federal issues. Example of international policies are trade, war, nuclear disarmament.
What's that mean?
Example of individual rights are reproductive health. Example of federal issues are gun control, immigration, border control. These issues are under the purview and oversight of the federal government.
Which is
the
why
city also
Sb54
refrains
is
from ballot measures
unconstitutional.
unless there's a direct impact on operations or services. When a bill is introduced, the city will consider whether it aligns with the legislative platform, impacts local control and/or funding, or if it's within a priority area. Finding financial resources to support city services, programs, and infrastructure are at the heart of federal advocacy. Federal advocacy centers around funding opportunities such as competitive grants, receiving the city's federal share of program funding such as community development block grants, which we provide to nonprofit organizations, and transportation funding, and advocating for the maintenance of these funding streams. Generally, the city supports the priorities of the National League of Cities, which also revolve around championing resources and tools for cities to maintain and improve infrastructure, public safety, and the economy. Unlike federal advocacy, state advocacy focuses directly on legislation. Legislation is monitored on a variety of issues affecting local government, including water, transportation, technology, affordable housing, and even recycling. The city advocates through letters, calls, and meetings with legislators, their staff, and even the governor's office. Periodically, the city will provide testimony during state legislative hearings. State advocacy includes monitoring the state budget for impacts to programs and services provided by the city. Budget proposals are monitored for potential shifts of local revenue to backfill state deficits, unfunded state mandates, and even spending priorities for the rare budget surplus. The city generally supports the League of California Cities' strategic priorities. This year, the priorities focus on public safety, pension sustainability,
Public safety.
resources for affordable housing and homelessness,
That's what this does, man.
and protecting transportation funding. Although not applicable to the current legislative program, but given the public interest, staff was asked to provide information on Sb54 on a violation such as robbery, murder, and certain types of rape offenses, and those serving time with prior serious or violent felony. Unless the individual is involved in one of these exceptions, Sb54 prevents state and local agencies from complying with hold requests to detain immigrants solely for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Law enforcement officers may still be able to work with task force so long as they're not dedicated to immigration enforcement. I am pleased to introduce to you Ventura County Sheriff Jeff Dean, who will provide more information on the impacts of Sb54 on public safety within our community.
Sheriff, before we start, I'm pretty sure this is probably your last visit here to Thousand Oaks before your term ends. And just on behalf of all of us, we've got a whole bunch of people here. We want to thank you for your almost 4 decades of service to Ventura County. The citizens that you, the men and women in the Sheriff's Department, protect each and every day. And on a personal note, having known many, many police officers, we kid back and forth, but your level of professionalism and commitment to public safety is really admirable and outstanding. So on behalf of all of us, thank you and a career well done. We wish you the best in retirement. Thank you.
Mayor Fox, members of the council, Ms. Newman and Mr. Powers, my name is Jeff D. and I am the Sheriff of Ventura County. Not I didn't mean anything by that. So, thanks for letting me come here tonight to kind of walk you all through and walk members of the audience through Sb54. I've been involved with it since its inception, since it was first proposed to the legislature. It is extremely convoluted and complicated. So I'm going to give you, Amina did, as she always does, an amazing job. There's kind of 3 different sections of Sb54. The first is the street level enforcement part of it. So Sb54 says that local law enforcement cannot use their resources for street level immigration work. And candidly, I don't have a problem with that. The other chiefs of police don't have a problem with that. We haven't done street level immigration enforcement for 30 years in Ventura County. And candidly, there is very little, if any, street level immigration enforcement going on anywhere in the state of California.
Yeah.
Police executives, law enforcement executives feel that it's contrary to our public safety. We never want a victim of sexual assault or a witness of a crime to be hesitant to come speak to law enforcement for fear of being reported. So that is in Sb54. I can tell you myself, and the other sheriffs, the other 57 sheriffs in the state of California do not have an issue with that part of the bill. The second part, the part that the majority of sheriffs in the state do have an issue with, is once people are arrested. And I'll walk you through exactly what happens so you know. So someone gets arrested out in the field. My deputies officers do not inquire what their immigration status is. We don't care. It's none of our business. We don't do that. When they're booked into our area, about 80% of our jail population is now, they can tell us whatever they want. We don't do any further inquiries. They're also fingerprinted. Their fingerprints are instantly sent to the FBI, who forwards their fingerprints to ICE. Yes. ICE reviews those. We book people 24 hours a day. They review those on an ongoing basis, sometimes just during the day, sometimes in the evening. We book about 30,000 people every year in the county of Ventura. ICE can then send us a request to hold that person once they have been released, that they have an interest in that individual. Now, prior to 2014 and Sb54, there was a federal case in Oregon that said law enforcement, everyone in the 9th District, which is Washington, Oregon, California, Hawaii, parts of Arizona, and Nevada, were not allowed to hold anybody once they've been adjudicated on their local charges. So once they posted bail, served sentence, been released, the federal court said, absent a federal warrant from a federal judge, you are not allowed to hold anybody. And that was federal guidelines. We talked to our attorneys. That's the law. That's what we do as law enforcement. We follow the law. We don't make the law.
They changed
now, I mean, the law is that an immigration hold is an administrative order. A federal judge has no authority to issue that administrative hold. The only place that administrative immigration hold can come from is from an immigration officer. But a federal judge said you can't honor that unless it comes from a federal judge, which actually can't happen. So the reality on that is since 2014, because of the Clackamas versus Oregon case, we no longer hold people once their local charges have been adjudicated. So that's another part. So we have people that have been arrested for a variety of crimes. ICE may send us a hold. Under Sb54, we are not allowed to communicate with ICE that or when their release date is, unless they have been arrested for one of the listed serious charges in the penal code that are covered under violent crimes, and the caveat is they have been seen by a judge. That is definitely a loophole and a problem in the legislation. Now, many people have heard that, you know, in Ventura County, a child molester was released, and he was.
Yep.
And that was because he came into custody, he was arrested for child molest, but he posted bail before he was seen by a judge. Under law, I was not allowed to tell ICE about that individual. Jesus. Now, those that have been seen by a judge and qualify under the listed felonies under Sb54, we notify ICE that we have them in our custody, and we notify ICE when those people are due to be released. Other than that, under Sb54, we are not allowed to do that.
This is ridiculous.
Now, some have said you're a constitutional officer, you should follow the federal constitution, and you should violate state law. Well, I took an oath to uphold not only the federal constitution, but the state constitution.
That's the problem.
And it is actually a crime within the state of California for me to violate state law. Now, there's not a sheriff in the state of California that is violating the guidelines of Sb54, and that includes in those counties and those cities that have chosen to take a vote on that position. Every sheriff in the state of California is complying with Sb54. We've talked to our attorneys, we've got legal counsel, we've been to Washington, D.C. numerous times to find out if we really have to do this. And in fact, we do have to comply. And just like every other sheriff in the state of California, I do comply. And we met, California State Sheriff's Association is made up of all 58 sheriffs in the state of California, and we have our own council. So we get together 4 times a year, and we met with our council, and we said, should we file an amicus brief? Because virtually all but 2 of the sheriffs in the state don't like the part about Sb54, because we believe that once somebody is arrested and booked into a jail, that their immigration status should at least be reviewed by ICE. That's just what we believe. But so we asked our lawyer, should we file an amicus brief? And he said, after reading the federal order and listening to the federal judge, he said, there's no reason for you to file an amicus brief because the federal judge doesn't want to see anything that isn't different than the case the federal government has already made. And our attorney read it over and over, and he's been our sheriff's attorney for 25 years, and he said the federal government did an excellent job in outlining both the sovereignty issues, the conflict between the federal government, the state government, and the public safety issues. So the sheriff voted and said, we're not going to file an amicus brief, we're going to let the case proceed to court. Now, with all due respect to the council, no matter what you vote tonight, it will have absolutely no impact on, number one, what I do as the elected sheriff inside the jails in complying with state law, or with what my deputies do patrolling the street. Yeah. And I can tell you there isn't an agency in Ventura County. I actually don't know of any agencies in the state of California. There might be some that are actually doing any kind of immigration enforcement out on the street. In essence, what we've come to is we have our 3 prongs in our government, our democracy. And it's certainly imperfect, but it is probably the best in the world. And we have a disagreement between the federal executive branch and the state executive branch. And it has now gone to the other branch of our government, the judicial branch, and a federal judge is due to hear it sometime in June to make a decision about whether Sb54 is legal or not. Now, the reality is, no matter how the decision goes, it's going to get appealed. And we all know this is going to end up in the United States Supreme Court eventually. But until then, Sb54, whether you like it, whether you don't like it, is the law of the land. It was voted in by our elected officials as part of our legislative process and our democracy. And it is what it is, right and wrong. And again, I always caution you to be careful when you say you don't like Sb54 or you do like Sb54. And I've been, since the beginning, I've been hate mail from both sides. I've been yelled at. I've been yelled at from both sides, which is totally fine. That's part of our democracy. But rarely do I find someone that believes that an undocumented child molester should remain in the country. But there's also the other side that says, you know, rarely do I believe that our deputy sheriff should be out in the field enforcing that. So I caution that when you talk about SB54, be careful to discuss what parts of it that you really don't like and what's really important to you. So with that, I know it's a long night, and I'd be happy to answer any questions council may have.
Okay, thank you, Sheriff. Questions for Sheriff? Mr. Adam.
Thank you, Mayor. Hello, Sheriff. Good to see you. I found that interesting that you said that the sheriff's attorney said, I think it was pointless to file an amicus brief.
But 20 cities have done it.
Because, I'll make sure I understand, because the federal government suit against SB54 would suffice, and I guess why would it be pointless to file?
Well, the federal judge, in reading the federal lawsuit that the administration filed, said, I don't want to get a long list of amicus briefs if you're just restating the same thing. So our attorney said, there's nothing new that we would have to offer in addition to what the federal government has already laid out in the lawsuit that they filed.
I see. Okay. Well, I don't know.
And candidly, we have to pay our attorney also. So there's certainly costs and everything else associated with that, and what really is...
With our money.
Well, you know, some cities have filed some amicus briefs.
Yes.
I think that well, maybe this is beyond your scope, but do you think that same judgment would apply to their amicus briefs?
I can probably answer a couple questions here. First of all, in order to file an amicus brief, you actually have to get permission granted by the court. So there are several states and cities and other organizations who have filed amicus briefs in this case, but they have to be given permission by the court to submit an amicus brief. And as Sheriff D discussed, what the court said was he wants briefs to be based on things other than what the federal government has discussed.
Okay.
Courts, all amicus briefs as a standard, you don't submit an amicus brief to repeat what the plaintiff and the defendant is saying. You submit an amicus brief to provide additional information from a different perspective. And that's the purpose of an amicus brief.
All right.
You need to do it.
I understand that. Thanks, Jeff.
Any other questions for the sheriff? Sure. Mr. McCoy.
Sheriff, thanks for taking the time to explain all that. And I'm mindful of the dilemma you're put in regards to the Clackamas County decision in 2014, where you've got the federal government stating one thing, and then the state government stating something else, and then if you go to enforce federal law, the federal government sues you. And I know that's a dilemma for all 58 county sheriffs. I guess my question for you, so that all the folks can hear, because I know this has been an evolutionary process for you, but you wrote in your opinion piece, you said, some people believe that once people in our country, legally or illegally, they should be allowed to stay regardless of what crimes they commit. I disagree. I believe that when people are booked into jail for a criminal offense, that they may be in the country unlawfully, that they should be vetted by immigration customs enforcement. And then you said, should any of these people become eligible for pretrial release, the restrictions sought by this bill would force me to release dangerous offenders back into our communities without any communication with immigration officials.
That's right.
And then finally, these are just things that I know we've had a conversation. I want folks to hear how you came to process all this as the bill took on different aspects and you lobbied for it. But finally, you said the issue of immigration and immigration reform is complex and there's no perfect solution. I've only written an opinion piece such as this a couple of times during my time as sheriff. However, I felt compelled on this very important topic to express my deeply held concerns regarding public safety consequences that SB54 will have on the lives of residents of Ventura County and the state of California. My guiding light is public safety, and I truly believe that SB54 is bad public policy and is dangerous for everyone, including the undocumented.
Yeah! Yeah! Thank you, Sheriff. Okay.
We're only going to overlook that because it's for the sheriff. Okay.
Okay.
Folks, really, we're going to have a long night, and I know there's passion. We've already heard it. So, Sheriff, thank you for taking time to explain to me, and I wanted you to kind of share with the folks how you process through all that, and they can hear that from you.
Well, it's probably no different than I tried to explain to the council. Part of it, of SB54, I really don't have the issue with because I don't believe we should be doing line-level immigration enforcement. The reality of the bill, and it was, I have to say, modified at the last minute because there was some holdout votes in our legislature to get some changes where initially even Department of Corrections wasn't allowed to communicate with ICE, and that was completely lifted. So if somebody is convicted and sent to the Department of Corrections, they're fully capable, they're fully allowed to communicate with ICE. My premise is that, so prior to SB54, ICE removed about 0.5% annually of our bookings. If you assume that our recidivism rate is somewhere between 45% and 70%, if there's 250 people that would have been removed or not removed, and 50% of those people are going to recidivate, then there's a chance that that is going to have an impact on crime. And that's why I had an issue, and continue to have an issue with the part that doesn't allow us to communicate with ICE. I don't, by no means do I think I should be able to come in and remove everybody, but I think they should be able to talk to people. Even when they come to my jail now, I have to provide the inmate a written document that says that he doesn't have to talk to ICE, and 1 out of 100 talk to ICE, and that's it. So that's kind of the premise that that I followed in writing that opinion.
And just one last question. Like us, you see the state usurping authority and the battle between the state and the federal government, and the county and the city are like a ping pong ball in the middle with taking our community and splitting it right down the center. Does that frustrate you as much as it frustrates us?
Well, Mr. McCoy, luckily, as a law enforcement officer, I don't really get to have an opinion. My job is to follow the law.
Well, there's an election. There was an election tonight.
We wouldn't legalize marijuana. And, you know, and it's still a federal crime, but we did. And so
that's the point, it's a federal crime.
Law in the state of California. So,
that is a problem.
Luckily, for whatever reason, my personal frustration really doesn't matter.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Sheriff. Sheriff.
What did you say was a federal crime?
I think
Marijuana.
you can elaborate a little bit more on that. That's that I think we referred to as a loophole. I don't think it was a purposeful loophole, but nonetheless, it causes your issues with the seeing the judge, the bail, that type of thing. To your knowledge, is that trying to? Are the people in Sacramento are trying to fix that?
Yeah, they actually are. Unfortunately, the author wanted it the way it was. Early on, but I have to say,
shame on him.
Do not throw things at me. Our assembly member and the governor have actually been working with us to close up these loopholes. I mean,
Ain't gonna happen.
I think it should be gone, put in jail, but to close the loopholes about when we have to see a judge on these violent offenders, when we have to report, when we're allowed to communicate with us. I know there's work in progress in the legislature, and our State Sheriff Association continues to lobby, and we are getting some support up there.
Ain't happening though.
SB54
is a big loophole.
Yeah.
Good evening, Sheriff Dean. I was just wondering, we have had illegal criminals among various communities even before SB54.
So I'm wondering, have the numbers changed in terms of illegal criminals being released back in the community versus since SB54 passed?
Well, let me clarify, let me make sure I'm answering the right question, because somebody will run with it. Well, I have no idea how many undocumented people have been arrested, because we don't keep track of that. Prior to SB54, ICE removed 200 and, I believe 254, please don't quote me on that, somewhere in the mid-200s. Since that, SB54, the number is greatly reduced. So a logical progression would tell us that those people that were not removed are back in the community.
Yep.
I don't think there's any way to say whether there's a greater number or a fewer number of undocumented people committing crimes. No one has that.
Extranjero ilegal. Was that 254 per year or per month?
Per year, probably.
Yes, sir.
All right, sure. Thank
Oh,
you.
damn, he's gonna be here a while. This is his last day. That's a good question. We should ask.
Thank you, Mayor Fox. A few things that I want to talk about tonight with respect to SB54. First, I want to discuss what my role as a city attorney is for the city council. As everybody knows, I hope, I'm the legal advisor to the city council, and it's my job to provide objective and unbiased legal advice to the city council. Sometimes I include recommendations, sometimes I don't. At the end of the day, my legal opinions are just that the city council can choose to agree with, not agree with, follow, or not follow. So how did I approach looking at SB54 so that the city council can have a better understanding with respect to how it impacts the city? First of all, I have to understand what does it say? What does it do? What doesn't it do? Those are three really important things that I need to understand. I also have to understand what the city council has the legal authority to do. It's not a matter of policy. I'm not a policy maker. I don't create policy. That's the city council's role. So my focus is solely on what the city council has the legal authority to do. And finally, I have to understand the rules of conflicts law. I actually took a class in law school and thought I would never, ever have to prepare myself for conflicts of law, but yet here I am tonight.
Wow.
I have to understand the rules of conflicts of law, because that's what we have here, and how the city is affected by the conflicts between the federal government and the state government. So let's talk about SB54. As Sheriff Dean discussed, this is a very convoluted and complicated area of law. It's not cut and dry as some people think it is. It's actually pretty difficult to decipher.
It was done on purpose.
If anyone has looked at any of the pleadings in the federal lawsuit or any of the couple of the state lawsuits, you'll see that it's a very complicated area of law. But you did hear from the sheriff on the general mandates of SB54. First of all, it prohibits local law enforcement agency from performing the functions of an immigration officer, which the sheriff indicated he takes no issue with. It also prohibits law enforcement agency from participating in arrests based on civil immigration warrants. In other words, the sheriff will not go out there and arrest someone solely based on their immigration status. It does allow local law enforcement agencies to cooperate with federal immigration authorities if the person has been convicted of certain specified crimes. But the part that I think is really important, as Sheriff Dean discussed, was that it really comes into play under the circumstance where an arrestee is arrested for a criminal offense and then is no longer going to be held on that offense. If a person is arrested for murder, I don't know what the bail schedule is for murder, but I imagine it's probably pretty high, and I can't imagine anyone could bail out on murder. So there are crimes that someone can bail out prior to going to magistrate.
That's right. Bail reform.
Yeah,
Is a person
they don't
who
want
is
to have to pay
arrested
bail.
and then is able to bail out or is released for certain reasons prior to going before a magistrate judge and being held or bound in jail to hear charges for the underlying crime. That's what SB54 is about. Am I getting a nod over there? Okay. So again, if a person's arrested for robbery, doesn't bail out and remains in jail, SB54 is pretty much irrelevant because the immigration status is not relevant at that point. That person's in jail on the underlying charges.
And that's my understanding of SB54, trying to unconvolute the convoluted language of the legislation. So the next thing I want to talk about is the city's relationship with county law enforcement services. As Sheriff Dean discussed, the City of Thousand Oaks doesn't have its own police department. We actually contract out for the county to provide those law enforcement services. And pursuant to the contract that the city has with the county, actually pursuant to the California Constitution, and also pursuant to state law, the sheriff has the sole authority to enforce criminal laws in the state of California. Also, and that's really important, I want everyone to remember that, the sheriff has the sole authority to enforce the laws of the state of California. Pursuant to city contract, pursuant to the California Constitution, and pursuant to state law, the sheriff has the sole authority to keep the county jail and the prisoners in it. And what this means is very important here. First, it means that the city council has no legal authority to direct the sheriff on how it enforces its state laws. And the city doesn't have any legal authority to direct the sheriff on how it runs the county jail. In fact, not only does the city not have the authority to do that, the county board of supervisors doesn't have the authority to do that. That's California Constitution that gives the sheriff the sole authority to, or the discretionary determination on how he is going to enforce the laws of the state of California. Doesn't matter whether they have the authority. So, if the city doesn't have the authority to control that, what other areas of the city services does the city have control over? So does SB 54 affect any other provision for city services on the city? The answer to that is no. SB 54 is solely for law enforcement purposes.
Grants can be suspended.
Talking about challenges to SB 54, the federal lawsuit by the United States against the state. I just wanted to go into a little bit of background on it. I'm not going to go into detail regarding it because, as Sheriff Dean discussed and kind of stole my legal thunder, there's three branches of government. You have the executive, the legislative, and the judicial branch. And as our founders contemplated when they, adopted the U.S. Constitution, whenever there's a conflict between the federal government and the legislative government, or conflicts with state law, the courts are the ones that end up being the decision makers. So I'm going to talk about some of the challenges to SB 54, but I'm not going to give an opinion as to whether or not SB 54 is constitutional or not unconstitutional, because that's up to the courts to decide. So first of all, the federal lawsuit was filed by the United States on March 6th, and generally alleges that SB 54 is preempted by federal law, and that it obstructs federal government in their immigration enforcement. At this point in time, it's at the trial court level. There has been a motion for a preliminary judgment filed also by the United States, and there's also been a motion to dismiss filed by the state. And the hearing on both of those matters will take place on June 20th. Councilmember Adam asked about filing an amicus brief. There's probably 144 requests to supply or file an amicus brief before the court right now. But there is a hearing schedule on that. In fact, the date to file an amicus in support of the federal lawsuit expired on
April 9th. April 9th. April 9th.
April 6th.
April 6th, whichever.
Thank you. It expired April 6th, and then the deadline to file an amicus brief in support of SB 54 was May 18th. Also, as Sheriff Dean indicated, there are at least 2, maybe 3-minute orders by the court expressly ordering the parties not to file amicus briefs on any matter that is already being briefed by the underlying parties to the action. There was also a request to intervene by the county, Orange County, and the Sheriff's Department, and that was actually denied yesterday. So they are no longer allowed to be a party to the lawsuit. Depending on how the trial judge rules, it can be appealed to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals.
It will be.
To the U.S. Supreme Court, which is probably where it's going to reside. That's the status of the federal court lawsuit. There's also a couple of other state lawsuits. The first one is the city of Huntington Beach. Yes. Huntington Beach is a charter city. And the difference between a charter city and Thousand Oaks, which is a general law city, is what's called a home rule. You have the municipal affairs doctrine. And that basically allows a city to exercise more discretion on certain municipal affairs as opposed to a general law city. So they are a charter city and they also have their own police department. They filed a lawsuit on April 5th challenging the legality of SB54.
You were there. Build that wall.
Primarily stating that it places unconstitutional limitation on how the city spends their general fund money in violation of their charter. So the issue before the state court in the city of Huntington Beach lawsuit is a charter argument, it's a charter city argument with respect to how a charter city uses general funds. And that is still pending. They're still, they just basically have they haven't even gotten to a case management conference status, which is the very beginning of the lawsuit. And finally, there's Los Alamitos. Los Alamitos is also a charter city and also has its own police department. And in March, they adopted an ordinance exempting themselves from SB54. Thereafter, a lawsuit was filed against them on April 18th, a written mandate asking the court to direct the city to rescind that ordinance, alleging that it violates the California Constitution and that it's preempted by state law. And again, that is still at the trial court level as well. So those are kind of the status of the different types of legal aspects or legal challenges that are going on in the state of California with respect to SB54. But what are various types of responses or challenges that I've been seeing in the many emails and requests by the public and the constituents? I've seen requests that the city opt out of SB54. I've seen requests that the city exempt itself from SB54. I've seen requests that the city state enforcement of SB54.
Exactly, I mentioned that.
I've seen requests that the city itself file a lawsuit
Yes.
or join as an amicus in the federal lawsuit. I've also seen requests that the city do nothing. So I wanted to talk about briefly the law as just as the general law, not SB54 law, the general law. How does the federal government laws and the state laws and local laws, how do those all work together? As Sheriff talked about, there are the three branches of government: the legislative, the executive, and the judicial. In the U.S. Constitution, the legislative branch has the authority to create laws and powers to establish, the uniform rules of naturalization. That's where immigration comes from. The federal government controls that. You have the executive branch.
So there you go.
The
SB54 is unconstitutional.
The judicial branch specifically recognizes the power to decide controversies to which the United States is a party, and also specifically recognizes the power to decide controversies between two or more states. Our Constitution also recognizes these checks and balances. Article 3 declares, for instance, that administrative agencies have no power to declare a statute unenforceable or refuse to enforce a statute on the basis of it being unconstitutional unless an appellate court has made a determination that such statute is unconstitutional. So there is no legal authority for an agency to declare a state statute unenforceable unless a court of appeal has already made that determination. So when you look at what's happening in the federal government or in the federal laws, that's precisely what the founders had intended. They had intended that this dispute between the federal government and the state government be resolved by the courts, and that's exactly where it's lying right now. There's other areas in California law that discuss conflicts of law, because it's not just SB54 that could be conflict. I mean, in the history of, just since I've been an attorney, think of all the other laws that have been passed and challenged in court and struck down or supported. I mean, this is nothing new. This is the way our government works. This is the way the United States works. So let's talk about California law itself. Again, I've already talked about the California Constitution that prohibits agencies from declaring the statute unconstitutional unless the Court of Appeal has already done that. The other provision of the California Constitution, it authorizes a city to make and enforce laws and ordinances that are not in conflict with state laws. It's very clear, and that's also in the California Constitution. The California Constitution also establishes the elected sheriff with his own powers, and that's where the powers that the sheriff enjoys that the city cannot control or direct. And in addition, the county board of supervisors can't either. And then there's state law. There's state government statutes, such as a government code provision that allows cities to pass ordinances not in conflict with the California Constitution, or the United States Constitution, or federal law, or state law. There's also government code provision that says that the sheriff is the person who shall preserve the peace, and the sheriff takes charge of and is the sole exclusive authority to keep the county jails and the prisoners in it. And there's also a specific provision in the government code that prohibits the Board of Supervisors from impinging on the prosecutorial and investigative authority of both the sheriff and the district attorney. And then there's also case law, because even statutes, this one in particular, there's always vagueness and ambiguity, and sometimes you have to get a court involved to actually try to interpret that. So there's local ordinances. There's a case that says local ordinances which conflict with the general state law is void. So if the city passes an ordinance that conflicts with state law, it's automatically void. Doesn't matter whether that state law is constitutional or not. If the city passes an ordinance that violates state law, it's automatically void. And it doesn't matter whether city passes a law first and then the state passes a law afterwards that makes it void. It doesn't matter what order it goes in. State law preempts local law.
And federal.
And also there's another case law that says that municipal ordinance has to harmonize with the general laws of the state. So I've given a lot of legal background to all of you, and hopefully
Preempts state. Trumps state. Federal trumps state.
I think I have a good understanding as to what Sb54 says, what it does, what it doesn't
She
do.
leaves stuff
And
out.
some of the legal conclusions I have concluded, these are my opinions. First of all, Sb54 pertains solely to law enforcement services. No other services, just law enforcement services. My second legal opinion is that the city does not have the legal authority to direct the sheriff on how he enforces the law or how he operates the jails. My third legal conclusion is that I could find nowhere in the U.S. Constitution or the state constitution that the city has the legal authority to opt out, exempt, or stay enforcement of a state law that's adopted by the state legislature.
That's not what we're asking. I'm not sure.
They must wait until the court determines its legality and constitutionality.
Boo. 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 So it's not as strong. The clapping isn't as strong.
So, let me just interrupt. We talked about being respectful, and booing doesn't come into the category of being respectful. I'm going to do my best to be fair on this, but I don't plan on admonishing folks 2, 3, 4 times tonight. Okay, so I'm going to make one more appeal. Let's be classy. Let's be respectful. I'm sure you're going to hear some comments tonight you agree with and you don't agree with. There's a lot of green signs out there. There's other signs, which clearly you can see that your neighbors have a different perspective. Let's be respectful of people's perspective, of their opinions, of their comments, and to the city staff. We're just simply doing their job. Can we get an agreement on that?
I don't know. Greg, do you agree to that?
My next legal conclusion is that the deadline to join as amicus on behalf of the United States has passed. That deadline was April 6th.
I want to correct
And then
that.
my final legal conclusion is that the deadline to join as an amicus on behalf of the state of California has also passed.
There's going to be
and
many
that deadline
opportunities
was on
to
May
join.
18th.
Yeah, honey.
They even said it's going to be appealed all the way to the Supreme Court.
Yep.
All right, thank you, Ms. Newman. Questions for Ms. Newman on legal issues? Any questions from council? Okay, Mr. McCoy.
Your counsel has always been valuable and very much appreciated. Ms. Newman, I just am not in agreement.
Good.
When each of us swore to take that oath of office, as did Sheriff Dean, we swore to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California.
Oh my God, this guy's
against all
great.
enemies, foreign and domestic.
He's good.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California. That I take this obligation freely and without any mental reservation for the purpose of evasion, and I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter. That was the only requirement of me having been elected to this office. In a constitutional republic, where the sovereign is we the people,
Yes.
And by the consent of the governed, they consent us to do it, but we are required, the U.S. Constitution doesn't give us any rights. It's written to protect the rights we've been given. And the idea is that Article 1, Section 8 clearly defines that naturalization is a federal issue. And so when the state of California rules otherwise, now we're in conflict. And I completely understand Sheriff Dean's dilemma that to put a 40-hour ICE detainer and then face the federal government who's supposed to be defending their own law.
Hello.
And then the state of California coming after us, putting us in a legal jeopardy and a bind, and the city's issue where we have limited resources and to engage in some sort of legal battle would just remove all of our resources in a legal fight. So my struggle is simply this. I'm not anti-immigrant as much as I'm anti-criminal activity.
Yes.
We're here to protect the citizens as the sheriff means. And I'm looking at this thinking that
citizens.
We can say that the 10th Amendment gives the states the ability to do what they're doing, but the plenary responsibility falls with the legislature, the federal government. There's no question about that. It'd be like California saying that we will no longer honor OSHA. We're going to be bound by federal mandate. We're going to be in trouble if we don't do that. So I'm just concerned that, especially as a city, that if God forbid, we have an issue in our city where somebody's been released who is an illegal immigrant that has committed crimes and hasn't been deported. We're going to, and I don't want to enter into a legal conflict with the state or with the federal government. That's not our place. But we swore to defend the Constitution. That was the one thing we did as council members for the people that elected us in a constitutional republic. And my question is, how am I going to be delivered? And how often do I talk?
3 minutes. Keep talking.
How am I exempt, having taken that oath of office, accountable to the people who's a sovereign, when there is a direct violation of the U.S. Constitution and federal law always follows state law without the Constitution?
Did you hear that? No. He said federal law trumps state law.
When I'm looking at the law, I'm looking at how it affects the city council and the implementation of your duties, okay? So what is your duty here? Your duty is not to...
By the oath is what I was stating.
Right, but what do you have control over? Like, for instance, there's a bunch of laws out there that, again, as Mina has discussed and Sheriff Dean has discussed, there's a bunch of laws out there. We don't have the authority to say that we should change the sentencing guidelines for a robbery. We don't have the authority to say that we don't think...
I'm not asking that.
Right, so, but that's kind of the context
But that's
of
not a
this
good
as well.
example.
So, what does the city
The pot
council
issue is a
have
good
the
example.
authority to do? So the city council does not have the authority to tell the sheriff how to enforce the law.
That I understand.
And this, right, so if the city council doesn't have that authority, what does the city council have the authority to do as it involves Sb54? That's the question that I'm looking at.
Can we as a council state to the state of California that we swore an oath and we recognize the federal authority over the state authority, and we find Sb54 simply to be contrary to federal law, and we don't want that to be known?
The council can always make statements.
Okay.
But again, my role is looking from a legal perspective. How does Sb54 impact or affect your duties as a city council member? And because this is a law enforcement bill or measure of statute, and the city council has no authority over law enforcement services, my legal opinion is that you don't have the authority to tell the sheriff whether he should follow Sb54.
Well, that's not what she's saying. Yeah, but that's not what this is about.
Any more questions for either Ms. Newton?
God, that was good. Finally.
Okay.
But we had to hit it really
Mayor
hard.
Fox, I have a question for, this is new. We've had other issues come before us where the council didn't agree, and each individual council member had the ability to write on stationery and his or her letterhead, a statement, and send that in. Would that be an option in this particular case?
Well, again,
Of course you can.
I'm not familiar with, off the top of my head, what our policy is, but if we have a policy that allows council members to take individual positions, it's not a legal question, it's a policy decision.
We have done that in the past.
That becomes a policy decision at the council and not a legal decision.
Yes, the answer is yes. You can write an individual letter on your personal council letterhead. But it has to be, in the past, it clearly delineates it's a personal opinion.
Correct. Correct.
That takes 3 votes.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so we're going to hear from the speakers, the folks. Right? And what were our operating rules again, folks?
Scream and yell at all the people who want MS-13. All right, all right, all right.
Second, let's be respectful of everybody's
Yeah, Greg.
What are you trying to tell me, Arthur?
Okay. McCoy said that federal law trumps state law.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I was busy writing something. So. I don't hear very well. We're hearing aids.
You told me your batteries ran out.
Sincu, followed by Emily Gonzalez, and the third person in the hole, so to speak, is Leslie Ann.
Go, Leslie. Mm-hmm.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak tonight. I'm here to offer
2 minutes.
perspective. Please bear in mind that local corporations create local jobs.
Speak
My
up.
name is Blaise Sincu. I'm president and CEO of Sage Publications, founded and privately owned by Sarah Miller McCune. We are headquartered in Thousand Oaks since 1986, where we were a very tiny company. Today we employ thousands of people around the globe, but Thousand Oaks is our home and our headquarters. We are one of the top 5 academic publishers in the world. I'm speaking to recommend that the city does not support the lawsuit to oppose Sb54, and doing so would be harmful to companies like Sage. We only employ individuals who are legally employable. However, we have a highly educated workforce, and we create approximately 200 new jobs each year in Thousand Oaks. And in the last decade, we have created over 2,000 new jobs in Thousand Oaks. But we are now building a workforce of the future. 49% of our staff is under the age of 35, and we are competing with the city of Los Angeles for talented employees. Opposition to Sb54 sends the wrong message, a message of hostility in our view, and does reputational damage to the community. Thousand Oaks must be a place where our employees and future employees want to live and work and build their lives. The majority of our staff value living in a diverse community. Our employees and their families have an economic impact. They shop locally, buy locally, support our schools, pay for services, pay for entertainment, support our restaurants, and buy, rent, and lease the homes and cars in Thousand Oaks. Sage, as a company last year, alone contributed over $300,000 to the city of Greater Thousand Oaks and other nonprofit organizations. In the past 30 years, we have contributed millions of dollars to the community. I ask that the city reject participating in legal action against Sb54 and that it maintains its reputation as a great community for growing businesses. Thank you, sir.
Emily Gonzalez, followed by Leslie Ann, and the whole will be Shoshana Brower. Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Emily Gonzalez. I have lived here for 40 years. I've grown up here, moved away for a couple years, my husband and I, and realized this is where we want to raise our 3 children, and we are. A couple years ago, our neighbor, 2 doors down, they were the victims of what's called a knock-knock burglary. 5 people came to their home and simultaneously attempted to break in through windows, doors, etc. Fortunately, the sheriff's deputies were able to arrive early enough to catch all 5 men. All 5 men were gang members from Simi Valley. 4 of these men were illegal immigrants. I don't want these kind of people in my community. What if this was your home? We were terrified after this, because apparently this is a thing. I didn't know, and I felt really naive and really stupid. But, and this isn't a racial thing. I don't want MS-13 here just as much as I don't want triads here. I don't want child molesters released because they found a loophole. You don't, even if it's too late to join the amicus bill, it's not too late to make a statement that our safety is still your priority.
Yes.
You can still agree with the federal government, who's just trying to protect us and uphold our laws. Yes, we're a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. Thank you.
Leslie Ann, followed by Shoshana Brower, followed by Sandy Lee.
Good evening, Mayor Fox and council members. I'm a 42-year resident of the city of Thousand Oaks. I'm speaking tonight for the first time ever at a city council meeting to urge you to take a stand against Sb54. Please don't accept or give us legally bankrupt excuses for not taking action or choosing to remain neutral. Please don't accept or give us excuses that a vote against this sanctuary policy would just be symbolic. That's just a path simply taken to avoid controversy. Those of us who disagree with Sb54 are not a minority group of extremists. We are a majority. Our concern has nothing to do with legal immigrants. It has nothing to do with illegal immigrants. Our concern is about illegal immigrant felons. These are illegal immigrants who commit acts of violence, human trafficking, sexual battery, DUI causing injury. These are examples of crimes that could be supported by Sb54. And as you heard from Sheriff Dean tonight, let me remind you, recidivism rate, 50 to 73%, and I'm just not comfortable with that. I must respectfully let you know that you will not get my future vote if you do not vote to opt out of Sb54. Yes. In closing, please take a stand against protecting illegal immigrant felons over your own citizens. Please put our safety first and do the right thing and support the federal government. Thank you for your time.
Next is Shauna Brower, followed by Sandy
That was
Lee,
good.
followed by Howard Lennis.
Hello, I'm Shoshana, and I've lived in this community for 34 years. And I'm also a member of AUW, American Association of University Women. And there are some of us that have been working with some of the high school students in our community. Many of them have written letters that they would like to have presented to the City Council, which I have with me and would like to leave with you. I will read 2 of those letters. Names have been taken off the letters. I'll start with the first one. Dear Thousand Oaks City Council, I expect my City Council members to represent me and support Sb54. I live in Thousand Oaks and will be greatly affected by the vote. I was brought to this beautiful community at the age of 3. I currently attend Thousand Oaks High School, and it's truly the only reason why I was brought here by my hardworking parents. Since they both got here, they have done nothing but work to give me a better home life than the one they had. Thanks to them, I'm able to pursue my dream to become a teacher, knowing that education is one of the most important things to me. I unfortunately can't have a voice in anything government involved, but I am a highly motivator for justice. It truly saddens me to hear that my community wants me out because of stereotypical prejudices. I do not live off of welfare, I do not steal jobs, and I am not a criminal. I'm an active member of this community and volunteer in many programs that benefit the future of this beautiful community. Sincerely. And the second letter I will read. Dear Thousand Oaks City Council, I live in Thousand Oaks and I support Sb54 because many great people who I consider role models are undocumented. They don't deserve to be deported when they have done nothing wrong. If you vote to oppose Sb54, I would feel betrayed because I myself am a citizen and my parents are immigrants. My parents are great examples of the ideal citizen. They pay taxes, donate to various charities, and volunteer at many churches. Okay, I believe the city would be better off with guaranteed safety of all of us residents. I'll be a voter in 2020 and will not forget about your decisions during elections. Sincerely, that was a 10th grader.
All right. Excuse me. Let's be respectful. Okay. All right. Sandy Lee, followed by Howard Lennis, followed by Arthur. Yeah.
Hi, City Council, Mr. Mayor. Thank you all. Local government is telling those of us who want to keep out of criminals that opposing Sb54 is purely symbolic and Sacramento doesn't care. Every freedom we have in America, we've had to defend them from oppressors first symbolically, and then sometimes even with war. Tea was dumped in the harbor to fight the king's passage. Was it symbolic? Did it make a difference? A much bigger than local government and the colonists stand at. How do we deal with it? Solidarity. will effectively scare those British authorities. Comes between we argued for independence. Did that have legal authority? Was it symbolic to begin with? Look what happened. Is the Declaration of Independence always symbolic? Did it make a difference? For Tina Galloway, she drank out of a white person's water fountain. That was against the law. Was it symbolic? Did it make a difference? Rosa Parks refused to sit at the back of the bus. She challenged the law. The law changed. You city council members will be voting on something symbolic, or maybe not voting, or making a decision. Will you be making a difference? How can you not take a stance against something you all know is wrong, just because you think Sacramento doesn't care, because you think it won't make a difference? Us residents of Thousand Oaks, we don't like SB54. And those city council members that don't vote out of it, we're not going to vote for you. And so I just want to remind you about one more thing, is the supremacy clause. So I have 16 more seconds. And
I believe one of the critical things for us, if the PO wants to continue to grow in terms of younger people, more people, and people who aren't that hurt, is that we continue to support this kind of bill. I admire you for listening to 100 voices tonight on something which we're not going to take any action, and we should. I want to say thank you also for the way in which you have worked with California Lutheran University over the years. I've been up there for the last 12 years. 2006, 7, 8, I served as interim president during those years when you were looking for a real one. One of the things I want to say is we've had a great working relationship. And one of the things that has happened at CLU over the last 20 years, one of our priorities has been diversity. We want to bring in all sorts of people. We used to be the youngest of the 27 colleges of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. We're still the youngest, but now we're also the largest. And that's because of the work that we have done on diversity over the last 20 years. We recently received recognition of being a Hispanic serving organization, which is a nationally honored way of saying that we now have a significant number, 30% of our student body are Hispanic. I want to say that I hope that you will continue to help work for building bridges and not walls. And I think that that's going to help us both with hospitality, diversity, and continue to make us a great city.
Thanks, sir. Arthur Shapper, followed by Amy Kim, followed by Patricia Bowman.
It's Shopper. Yes, my name is Arthur Shopper. I am from Torrance, California, Los Angeles County. But I have gone to every city council I can that takes a stand on SB54 because it is sanctuary state. It affects all of us. And I hope that you will be the next city that adds with the 46 cities and the 13 counties which have opposed this terrible law. I do not discount Ms. Noonan's prowess and skill. She gave me quite a legal training, and I appreciate it. There's a couple things I will tell you right now. First of all, San Diego County will file an amicus brief when it goes to the Ninth Circuit. So an amicus brief, there is other opportunities that will be available. You can make a motion to have her prepare one for that time. Second of all, the city of Huntington Beach, the city attorney will pay for you to have the amicus brief join with their lawsuit. I can have the contact information for that city attorney to speak with Mrs. Noonan to provide that information. I'd like to second Mr. Sheriff Dean's comments and to remind this body that the Sheriff's Association still opposes SB 54 even after its amendments. This is legislation which has forced the sheriffs of Orange County and San Diego County to release criminals who've committed domestic violence, sex with a minor, and child cruelty. I don't think anybody wants that in their communities, but that's precisely what SB 54 does. This is not about DACA. This is about criminal illegal aliens. Last of all, the religious sentiment is strong. Read the book of Ruth, okay? That's a picture of a true immigrant, one who didn't break into the country and commit crimes, but assimilated and followed the law. You have a responsibility. You took an oath of office. You can add this to an amicus brief argument. Article 4, Section 4. It's the federal government's job to protect every state from foreign invasion. There you are. Thank you for your time. I'm off to see the wizard.
I have to go now because otherwise I'm gonna go nuts.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you guys for following. Normally I stay for the whole show, but I mean, health-wise, I started to really fail. I stayed the whole time.
From foreign invasion. There you are. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Patricia Booker. Thank you. Patricia Booker, followed by Kim Payne, followed by Shannon.
So everybody does a great job speaking. I have to go. I've got other commitments.
I'd like to first thank Sheriff Dean for being
Make sure to follow it on the website. I'll have this up in a few hours.
is bad for the safety of our communities and was